Okay then. Let's see how well this works. Not particularly certain that it will, but we have to try, right? So I'm going to, well, I'll keep the BGM on for just a tiny bit before I actually get to the point. So let me just swap to the other screen, and hello everybody. It is me, once again, Tori, with the, wow, my head is very jittery today. Why am I looking up? Oh, because I am looking up. Wait, shit, let me recalibrate the screen, or let me not recalibrate the screen. It is what it is. We'll accept it as we go forward. Now we'll do more things, more stream stuff. Hello, everybody. It is my pleasure to be here. My name is Tori. I am a tuber of the V, meaning that I am a VTuber that does whatever I think is a good idea. And today, the good idea is, well, as was planned, to make a, what do you call it, another ASMR stream where I try to finally finish hand painting these little fucking marines, but I can't because this will take 3 more parts, I think. I don't know. Wait, I'm going to very quickly to move my mic. There we go. Okay. Hi, Chris in the YouTube chat. How you doing? Hi, Blade in the Blake X-Blade Blix Blixed. Hi, Blade. Hi, Blade in the YouTube chat. Welcome as well. Stream hype. You're here. Hi. Yes, great to see you all. It is very good morning. It is 5 in the fucking morning. I had little sleep because I wanted to go to sleep, okay? But listen. When you open up TikTok is like a time portal, okay? Like you start it, and then it takes you on a magical journey called going everywhere, and watching, and eventually ending on Reddit, like Reddit stories that are written down by people. And then you read them. Or you don't read them. You like wait for the narrator to get to them. And then you start scrolling the comment section, and they half spoil a thing, but they don't really spoil a thing. They more like start talking about a thing, and then you're like, oh wait, I have to watch this because I have to see where the story's going, right? And then that leads to, well, me. So we're blaming. Yeah, I am Ophi because I opened TikTok. I know I shouldn't have. I was laying down. I was perfectly ready to fall asleep. I was ready to be whisked away by my inner whatever the fuck I'd call it, right? But like the point is, I was ready to be whisked away, and then something very devious happened. Mainly, again, I opened TikTok and I watched a funny haha video, and one made me laugh my so bad because I'm gonna tell you the punchline, but it's not funny. It's not. It's funny. I feel like a terrible person for laughing at this, but the thought of it is already making me crack. So it was this like, okay, this is the story that made me like scroll through a bunch of the different like Reddit read stories, right? But the one was talking about like, what's one of the most horrible feelings you've ever had to encounter, and what follows is this heartfelt story about this father who is like at the end of his ropes because he's divorced, which is, you know, fine. But then like he's telling that he has his 2 kids on his week. It's a week thing. And all of a sudden he gets this vague post from his wife, right? From his ex, right? And then, well, the conclusion of the story is, well, the wife the ex had apparently taken her own life, and he hadn't told the kids yet, and he was waiting to tell the kids. But then I scroll into the comment section, and because the story kind of ends on a vague, like, hey, I'm telling them Saturday, and well, I hope for the best, right? The comment section, there was a comment being like, can you give us an update? And someone just replied to it, update, she's still dead. And that made me fucking lose my shit. That made me laugh so I wheezed, okay? I don't have them anymore, but I have tears in my fucking eyes because of that. Because it's just such a mean fucking comment, but it's fucking excellent. Because it's just like, update, still dead. Jesus Christ, dude. What the actual Tori cancellation arc. Indeed, we are definitely heading on the path of the Tori cancellation. But come on. You can't do that to me. You can't just give me a update. Okay. So that's fucking awful. I would have laughed too, right? Come on. You can't. Ugh, TikTok is terrible, but like I love it. Okay, this is the problem. I get an update like that, and then that keeps me up. So then I try to find a story that'll make me go to sleep, and then I get a creepy story that's like kind of horrifying, but not really. And then I keep going to find another heartfelt one, and I find a fucking terrifying story about like a woman who basically didn't die, but like they had to operate on her basically having an infected ass full of like dead tissue and shit, and like the surgeon's talking about that, and it's like, well, that's not the story I'm ending on before I'm going to sleep, right? And basically that kind of like tirade continues and continues of a few heartfelt ones, a few fucked up ones, and then like me ending up going like, wait, it's a half hour till I have to start waking up. Shit. What can I do? Well, what I could do is I could try to just, write it out, see if I can finally fall asleep. And now here I am. Wheezing ASMR stream. Yes, indeed. And that's how TikTok gets me. That is how TikTok gets me. I go to one's channel after having one good TikTok, and I stay there forever. Essentially, basically stuck and kind of cornered in a sort of vague post stun lock of me not being able to get the fuck out of there, So, yeah, that is legalized nuclear bomb. Did you actually sleep? Yes. I laid down. I rested. Okay, as well as you might have noticed, my head is way more wobbly and stuff like that, because like kind of how similar, like how I was adjusting the eye settings to be a little bit more active. I kind of wanted to try the same for my body, to be a little bit more reactive to every little movement I do, because sometimes I go into like this weird mode where I stand almost perfectly still, and so therefore I want to have a little bit more movement and stuff like that. And now I'm realizing that it's just causing my head to just shake from one side of the screen to the other side of the screen. But you know what? I don't hate it, so fuck it. I'm keeping it. Look, Zoomer ADHD level of movement, at least I'll keep that, right? Also, I've added. Okay, you kind of see my hand passing every time because I have to reach the stream deck, which is like over there. Also, I have a new lens on the mic, which allows me to zoom in a little further, so that'll be cool in a minute. I'll be able to show that. However, look what I'm able to do, right? Look, wait, eep. Wait, let me bring my hand back first. Look at that. I have a toggle for my hand now, and now I have a few different toggles where I can move sideways, close by, far away, zoomed up, to the side. For the gaming, essentially for gaming, I have like little side things now here. But now I also have different ones. Isn't that neat? And then I also have two other ones where it's like I'll delete the entirety of the hand or delete a part of the hand. Mainly for like when I'm doing gaming streams, I can sit down here and then delete this part of the arm. Not the full arm, fucking dumbass. There, I can bring part of the arm back, right? And then it doesn't like kind of have this weird hand sticking out the entire time for no real reason. Isn't that great? Kinda. Okay, when I do that, then it's weird that I don't have a hand anymore, but that's not the point. The point is that, like, look, when I zoomed in like this, God, I should have made an extra one where I'm just a tiny bit more to the side. Fuck it, I'm keeping it. I don't care. It's fine. He lied, case closed. I did that. It's not lies. It's, I laid down. I never lied, okay? I just didn't answer your question. I woke up at 3 a.m. because mosquito. Now it's 5 a.m. still not found mosquito. Oh. A tip for that, by the way. If you have multiple rooms in your light, if you have multiple lights in your room, activate one light pointed at the wall and wait until the mosquito like kind of sits on the wall, because they'll try and gravitate towards an area that is lit, right? But the moment they stand still there, that's when you can kill them in cold blood. Kinda. It's the easiest way that I know of to try it, right? Aww. Literally Zoomer ADHD. I love it. Tiny Tori. No. Not the jar. No. Sorry. I have a terrible sense of humor. Don't. And also, I apparently had my body locked. So like, I noticed like this weird thing where like my body was kind of still and wouldn't move around too much. And now I have the full movement. So I can kind of like, when I move around, I can sort of like also move left and right, which is kind of neat, because that adds just a little bit more dynamicism. The thing where I move around. I can relate because I'm in hell, aka Brazil. No. I did that, but like mosquito's too smart for its own good. Oh no. smart ass mosquitoes being here like. So okay, wait. So I now have the lens all the way zoomed in, right? Look, I can move the lens out a bit, and now I can. The idea is that I have a different position where it is more straight on and head on, so it could be a little bit more advantageous and easier for me to paint and also showcase while I'm painting. If you aren't familiar with the format, let me quickly explain it. I a few weeks ago bought this recruiter set, which apparently this Saturday is getting renewed by the Leviathan version. So I guess after we're done with these Marines, we can hop on to the next set of Marines. And so what is coming out is essentially new little Space Marines and new for the Leviathan set, right? Which I'm probably going to get this weekend because fuck it, why not, right? I can read the rules, maybe actually be able to play the fucking game for once. Point is, these Marines we have been painting over the course of several weeks now. And at this point, all we've basically done for all of them was get a base... Wait, look, this is where the zoom is going to come in handy, right? Look how well I can zoom in and then just whoop, do like that, right? So what we have here are Marines that are base coated. They're a little frosty because of the original base spray coat that wasn't like excellent, right? So what we now have here are shit. Okay, I'm still not great at it. Yep. Oh, we have the Marines that are all the way covered within their base coats, and we have applied a wash or shade on everything to like bring out some of the details back, right? The main thing we're going to be doing today is adding highlights and shading through actual painting, funnily enough, and like adding the little eye details and shit like that back in, and maybe cleaning up some of the like where armor grays have been overlapping and shit like that to get it as clean as possible as we can get it, right? But let me quickly turn one thing off in the background before it gets too annoying. We're trying a new thing today, which is that for the ASMR aspect of this stream, we're not having any background music, because I just want to test it out and see if it how much of a difference it makes, right? So essentially all you're going to be hearing is my voice and a little bit of room tone in the background. I would have opened up a window to have like the morning sounds kind of play, but then I thought maybe that's not a good idea. I could put on a fan, but I probably shouldn't, so we'll see, right? Cosmic Pro, yo, what up? Welcome to the YouTube chat. I hope you're enjoying your stay. He's really trying hard, boys. Dynamicism. God damn it. Dynamicism. Dynamicism. That doesn't sound like a real word. Pinning a starter set, part 3 ASMR stream bonus setup reveal. That would be kind of funny. Essentially what I have here is a... So, okay, now, you know what? Let me talk a little bit of tech, because I like talking tech, right? So essentially what we have here, right, is these are for when I want to eat, like, chippies. So I'm going to have, like, I have like, chopsticks with me, so I can eat the chippies so my fingers stay clean whilst using the brushes and stuff like that for the actual characters. Isn't that smart? Isn't that big brain today? So, I wrote it out and you still can't say it. I feel like I'm being made fun of. Yes. Oh, everyone welcoming Cosmic. Thank you. So setup wise, right? We're running a Blackmagic Pocket 4K camera that is exiting out a 1080p signal through HDMI over to a HD Elgato Game Capture HD 60. So the regular HD 60, that of course 1080p, and that is being broadcast. Well, that is then being routed to OBS, where you're seeing it now, essentially. On the thing, I have a EF2 micro 2 4/3 lens adapter speed booster on it, which is essentially making it so that we can put an EF lens on it. And now I'm having an EF 18-200 lens that I'm using as a this thing. Downside is I don't have autofocus, so every time I'm going to have to basically refocus. But because I have it set throughout the HD Capture Pro, the Game Capture card, I also have my second monitor now displaying the image that the camera sends out. So I'm going to be able to like check up and like mainly adjust my zoom more manually and stuff like that to try and get this thing to look as good as possible. The main thing I'm debating that I'm not completely certain on, right, is which stream do I actually want to be in. Do I want to be in this one, or do I want to actually go to the game capture stream? Because that might actually not be a bad one in this case, because then you get the optimal and the most amount of painting. Not like the other like the background really matters that much, right? And also then I get to basically put myself in like PNG mode, which is to say I get to put myself here or here to... Well, that's a little far away. Wait, that's a little weird. This would not be too bad. This would not be too bad if it wasn't for that, like, I'm kind of too far off to the side. Wait, let me just take my 2D setting and just whoop, put it to the side a tiny bit. There we go. Fuck it, let's do it like that. Okay, and we have this, bring that back to the middle in TikTok, just so that that's working fine. Tori tech tips. Oh my god, I wrote it out so I can say it. When not applying a lot when not reading a lot backfires. God, I'm not the only one who eats snackies with chopsticks. It's the idea I got it from on the TikTok ones again. I got it from TikTok ones because they were like, "Hey, why the fuck are you why wouldn't you use like chopsticks, right? It's cleaner, it's easier, and essentially you can grab from a distance, so you don't have to like reach your arm all the way around. You can just kind of you can just like kind of grab them, just like eat them like chippies, not the Marines, but like the chippies, the actual chippies, right? Game capture better. It's the most obtuse way of doing handcam streaming because this is the downside, right? I could have just used a webcam. But no, my Tori brain had to be like, wait, but I can get even better quality if I'm using a real camera, because then I can, use a bigger sensor that does like magic and shit. Or I think it does magic to the most part, right? What we're using as well is a paper towel wetted all the way with water with a baking like paper over it. That's keeping the place moist. That's going to be our like mixing palette here in the back. Wait, let me just zoom out a tiny bit. Whoop, and then adjust my focus. And there in the back, we're going to be using like baking paper with that is wet and like has a paper towel underneath to keep that place soaked and wet. And essentially, that's going to be serving as the place where we will mix our paints. You'll be able to see it less this stream because, again, the angle is more straight onward, right? We also refresh the water, and we're going to be using a different amount of paints today. I have my energy drink. I haven't drunk it yet. I'll do that in a bit. Don't worry about it. Maybe a little smaller down the corner. Shocker how time zones work. It is what it is. For paints, if I just move these little guys aside for a sec, look, we have more screen real estate now, so I'm going to be able to move this to a side a bit. Don't all hog each other. We've started our journey by using a blurry fucking mess. We have started our journey by using God damn it. I got to remember, if I put my hand here, you literally can't see anything, so I'm going to not do that. We started our journey with basing out everyone with Caldor Sky, essentially, right? Caldor Sky being a lighter blue than McCrack blue because I'm going for a lighter look of ultramarines. And I knew when I was going to shade them that the moment I added a wash that it was going to darken them down, right? And I want them to be a little bit brighter. Okay, so Caldor Sky, for the few red parts, like some of the sigils and stuff like that, we've used Mephiston Red, which we're also going to be using for the eyes down the line. We're going to be re-giving it to those eyes. We used real yellow for the... Wait, you know what? I'm going to actually do half. We'll just delete the arm for now. I don't need the arm. It's going to be standing in my way anyway. We used krill yellow for the rims, essentially, and the golden, what would be gold. We're going to make it more like painted gold instead of actual like metallics, using metallic paints for it. And then we've used, where is it? There it is. I used base standard Mechanicus gray for all the metal bits. Now we're going to vary a few of those like metal bits by reshading with either standard Mechanicus red or the different highlight colors that we're going to be using here. The main highlights for blue are going to be Teclis blue. We're going to be using for like edge highlighting on everything. With then, where is it here? With then a blue horror being used for some edges to indicate some kind of light coming in from a certain direction, right? That's the idea, at least. Another part of our idea in quotation marks, that we're going to be doing is we're going to be highlighting the yellow with phalanx yellow, and then doing the same thing to that with Dorn yellow, essentially adding one direction where light comes from, where we're going to be giving them the extreme highlights, the edge highlights, essentially. For the metal bits, we're going to use gray sear. We're going to be using gray sear as our like edging thing to highlight further with Corax white. That is the idea in the back of my head I have for all of this. We're going to be using a variety of brushes. I don't know which one I'm going to be using. I don't know why there's a hair on one of them. That's fucking dirty looking. That's not the point. Ew. Even though it's my hair more than likely, so whatever. We have chippies in the background, which I'm not going to open yet. However, I will be opening this thing, Rodeo Energy Drink. Okay, I have an actual painting questions. Are these kind of the kind of paints you can manually mix to create custom colors, or is it kind of paint where they can affect the hue and opacity in the end? Your arm is completely gone. Yes, the arm is completely gone. We're not using it because otherwise it's going to be standing in the way the entire time. It's like otherwise it's going to be this. And we're going to have that one arm there and the annoyance, right? And I could do half an arm, but then that looks like I'm amputated. So I might as well just take the entire arm away. I think that makes sense, right? Like that makes sense in my head. I could just make myself smaller. Oh, wait, no. I could just make myself a little head in the corner as well. I guess that also kind of works, right? Like I'm just a head corner. But then I can bring half my arm back. Aha! There we go. So, I'm going to be opening this. So that's some ASMR, right? It's going to be some can opening ASMR. That was louder than I wanted it to be, but okay. Yeah, when I hold up my can in front of my face, my tracking just completely disappears because essentially I hold it right where you see right where the camera is detecting my mouth and shit. So it looks like my soul just leaves my fucking body when I do that. That's funny. I think it's funny. Okay, so with that all out of the way, talked about and discussed, I'm gonna start. Fuck it. I'm gonna start my painting journey. You're going to be here with me. I'm going to try to not... Also, that's the thing, right? I can move to the side here a little bit. Like, more to the side. And I can still look at the screen there for not only you guys, but also what the fuck I'm doing on the screen without having to look all the way over there, right? So, that's going to be interesting. See how well that all works. The cam is more HD than my morning eyes can comprehend. I mean, do VTubers actually have souls? That's a good fucking question. I think the answer is no, probably. Why does this hair keep bugging me? Why do you... Don't do that. Don't be annoying. Do not make me pull out the vacuum cleaner for the ASMR stream. Ah, yes, ASMR vacuum cleaning. Yeah, I made a little point with the thing. Okay, don't sue me. Me using, pull that up, using this thing, this little base painter. They made a new one that has like a very much a skinnier like base to it, so it's actually very much easier to like flip around like this. But I still have the OG one because I don't know why I actually have this thing. I think I kind of bought it on impulse because when they brought it out, they were like, we're not going to have that many of them, and I was like, I might as well have it for whenever I would want to do the hobby again, and here we are today. Isn't that a winky dink? So let's bring back this guy. We started painting him again a few last time at the end. We never really got anywhere with it. I just realized that if I can play my cards right, essentially I can, instead of using my real eyes to look at him, right, I can use the big ass screen that this is being displayed on as a magnifying glass for me. It's actually kind of cool if I think about it that way, right? Huh. Wait, so you can mix these paints or nah? No, you can mix these paints. I just don't like to do it because it's pain in the ass. Do I see paints? Big breath. Hey, Cassie VA in the Kick Chat. How you doing? Welcome. If you want to see the quality better, come to the YouTube stream. It is a very good one. It's the high quality, very good high quality. Yes. So I don't know where I'm going to start today. I think I'm going to start, honest to God, by just edge highlighting everything again. By just drawing little like edge highlights on everything. But like I'll immediately just start using Techless Blue because it's fine. How's your day? My day's pretty good, not gonna lie. Thank you. We're just painting Warhammer, okay? Painting Warhammer whilst being a VTuber. How cringe. Self-aware cringe is the best cringe. Except when you drink more energy drinks and that like fucking destroys your heart rate, which let's go, another one. Great. Okay. Take this blue. I'm gonna use this to mix. Palette here, back here to be able to mix. I just noticed that when I put this thing on, you don't see it in frame. That's fucking great. So I can just better to take it off, I guess. Ooh. Okay, if I get no basting, I'll just do it with my hands. I'll do it manually. I'll do it live. Thinking. Yes. I'll test out how it works. Maybe I'll finally use this synthetic layering brush. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to be using that because I haven't used it, and otherwise I don't use my new brushes ever, and that would be a shame. Okay, so let me first shake this little thing before I start. And not hit the fucking mic like a dipshit. That would be good. Okay. Shaken. So now, if I can turn this, you can kind of see what I'm doing in the background. Yes, okay, that actually kind of works. So we're going to use this palette, which has water underneath it. Not only water, but also paper towel, which is soaked, by the way, to keep it moist. What we're going to do is open this. Make sure we have some blue on it. Yeep. Okay, let's see if I can use my arm over it like this too. Yeep. What we're going to do is we're going to take, with the back of our brush, a conservative amount of like paint, and we're going to dab it on here as like a big goop. We're going to hope to God that we don't need too much. Yep, let me get another thing from the back here. I'm going to put it all there as a goop. And that goop is going to be used essentially to paint on all our lines as I try and find a good like side position for me to stand on. Okay, I went down a bit. That actually worked. Lowered my chair as much as I could to get a more even look at the thing. I'm going to end up with me fucking on my knees looking at this entire thing. Anyway, with that said, okay, zoom in again. But this is the idea, right? So I can zoom in very much and then do the things within the range that this thing dictates for. Like that. I can close this so it doesn't dry up, so I can use it for as long as possible, which, honest to God, I have some Games Workshop paints here that are over 10 years old and they still work perfectly fine. That's kind of fucked up if you think about it. That these little paints, however, they have all gone up in price though. They're now $370. They used to be like $3. I'm going to put this here so you know which one we're using. And then I'm going to use my hand to cover up the entirety of my fucking screen. Okay, bring back this thing. And now whenever I angle it up, you're not going to be able to see me. Tits. Okay, I have an idea. I have another great idea. Don't worry about it. Also, by the way, the paper towel like soaking wet moist thing keeps it so that the paint I put on the pad there stays wet for way longer. Okay, so I was spend over $30 on a tube of fake oil paint. Oof. Ouch. Okay, so I'm gonna cover the camera for a second. Don't worry, we're not in the dark. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be all like, Tori, we're in the dark. What do we do? So just there you go. You have more screen. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up a bit of the tripod. I'm gonna open up the tripod higher. Cinema tripods are kind of heavy to do if you're not immediately doing anything. Okay. I'm gonna remove this thing, and then look at that. We are a higher. Ha. Actually, that's a way better angle. Fuck yeah. I just have to put this thing back here. Shit. Up here? There There we go. There we go. So then what I'm going to do is for this thing in the back, so you see it that way, I'm going to focus my zoom to this thing so you'll be able to see it here in the corner. What I'm doing is I'm going to add water. Take some water like this. Take it, a big drop, put it next to it somewhat, and use this water to mix it. Take a little bit from the side here, and then like mix paint like that together in like the middle. And why do I want to do that? Because I want to thin the paints. And when I thin the paints like this, what I'll create eventually is lines on my hand. And dependent on the thickness of the line on my hand, it'll be good. Like this is too watery, for example. Switch live, like that. Like that's too thick. That's not good. I just wiped it off very easily, right? So we're gonna add a little bit more to the mix. And we keep doing this until we get enough water to paint ratio to get like a more even line. That doesn't, kind of what I have now, which is a good one. Oh, I should put the mic closer to that so you can actually hear that. My bad. There we go. Pointy thing. So we have this, which is a better covering of paint. See, it stays sticky even, but not like it doesn't become runny or whatever. It's kind of what we want for the most part. Again, I'm not an expert on this. I just know what I know. I just do it how I do it. Don't take my word for it. Some people do it differently. Wait. Aha, there we go. Now I have the mic set a bit closer to the painting so that the painting will actually be able to, wait a minute, once again. I hopefully can get some of that painting noise in, but I'm not particularly certain. face reveal. I'm very sorry, knowledge, but you will not be able to get my face. I don't have any interest in showing my face because that's the whole appeal of being a VTuber, isn't it? But it's an interesting discussion though, because it's part of the mystery, and not only the mystery, but the appeal, right? Essentially, at any point in time, I can change whatever I look like when I choose, and I don't have to be stuck to a single model, kind of, right? Please scream at the mic. Why? Ah, yes, I am doing an ASMR stream. Let's do that thing where you just like blow everyone's eardrums out for no good reason. Violate the trust, because that has always worked well for YouTubers in their past, right? Whenever they violated the trust of their viewers. Would it be a funny meme? Maybe. It's not stuck to a meat suit, exactly. Every regular flesh tuber, as they call them, they're all stuck to their meat suits. They're not able to escape. Okay, I just realized that this paint is still way too watery. Fuck. Uh-oh. Oopsie. Whoopsie. I'm going to have to redo that a bit. Yep, yep, yep. Take a little bit from there. And just see if I can just... I just want to layer the ends, but I don't want it to be too thick. Which this is too thick. Shit. Too thick of a layer. Not what I want. A little bit more water pulled in. A little bit more mixing. Too much water. Kind of annoying. Have mercy, I have my headphones on. Yes. The Tori stream is best enjoyed with absolute headphones on. That way you can enjoy my incessant screaming in all the other games I play. By the way, how's the mic settings for you people? Ophi already probably knows, but like for Chris and other people in the chat, how is your experience of my voice at the moment? How is it compared to if you were there for yesterday and stuff like that? How is it compared to the last time? Okay, yesterday's video I uploaded had a little bit too much boom, way too much bass in the thing. I'll admit that. That is something I fucked up on. My bad. Yep. Let's give it a tiny bit of edge highlighting. The reason to do this, right? Even though it makes no sense from like a lighting perspective, because you're like, where's the light coming from? It's not as much about the light; it's more about the effect it gives. The lighting like highlight run we'll do later on. An extra one I'll do down the line. It's good? Yeah, it's good. That sounds so evil when I laugh like that. No, I'll explain why I'm laughing about it, right? Because it is a funny little side story. So I was talking to someone. If someone wants to know that they were being talked about, it's fine, they can mention it. So I was talking to someone, and they were mentioning their unrequited love for Foxsuck. Change all the facts of the story. It wasn't exactly how it was. You're a bit quiet. Your balancing is good, though. Okay. I don't know if I want to make it louder, though. That's the problem. Because if I make it louder, then it's going to be more... What do you call it? There's going to be way more hiss, maybe. I don't know if there... Actually, it might not even be that much hiss. It might... It's like, is it worth it to try? Is it worth it to actually try and put it louder? That's what I'm wondering. Okay, so I'll put it a bit louder. I'll use this. I'll use the GoXLR's program. So they were talking about their unrequited love for a VTuber everyone might have heard of that doesn't, live in or under a rock. This certain person called Levox Akuma, who is a VTuber in Nijisanji, a pretty good VTuber. Is this better, by the way? I upped it with like 5 dB. It's maybe a lot in one go, but like at least it makes the thing go around more like the 20, I think. No one here simps for Voxock. That's ridiculous. So they were simping very big, very hardcore, very hard time for Vox Akuma. and okay, I'll stop my jesting. Anyway, like the point of the story was, after they said that, I came to a conclusion. Now, I'd been experimenting for a few days with changing my EQ settings, right? And changing all my mic settings. And the last thing I had actually acquired, or will come to, right, was this conclusion of, hey, what if I tried to set my mic so that I only use the OBS plugins, right? My idea was going to be this. I was going to use the upward compressor essentially as like a noise gate. Instead of using a noise gate, I was going to use an upward compressor, essentially allowing it so that only the frequencies I was talking in were going to be used. Or at least that was my sort of idea I had in the back of my head, right? Now, Bianca Miguel, welcome. Hi, how are you doing? Better? A little better. So they were... So they were talking about so that was one of my ideas, right? Was going to be using a voice gate essentially to do the work of a upward compressor to do the work of a noise gate. And I'm be honest, it worked pretty well, as in I had at the moment eliminated completely a noise floor. The entirety of the noise floor was gone, right? But it still sounded like something sounded off about it. And so I kind of was starting to put that idea to rest. As well as then if I would be in a Discord call, my mic would be extremely silent. So that would require some other workaround on that aspect. So like I just gave up on the idea, right? Now, what the conversation then led to, eventually we were talking about VTubers, eventually they were simping for Fox. And what we were talking about was Vox's voice for a bit, and it just clicked to me. I had been the previous few days, right, staring incessantly at an at a representation of my EQ meter, right, to get like the noise as away as possible. But that meant I could technically just look at the EQs and be like, could I learn something from them from other VTubers? So what I did was I downloaded the Vox Akuma stream, a VOD, and I used the guy's EQ to balance my EQ. essentially looking at me talking, then Vox talking, me talking, then Vox talking, and changing my EQ so it would not sound similar, but it would have the same mic settings essentially. That is what you're listening to today. Well, let me read the chat very quickly. I'm very sorry. A while ago there was a hail outside, and whenever it stopped, I went out to grab some, and now I have some hail in my freezer. Huh. That's kind of clever, actually, not gonna lie. Clever hailing tricks with Bianca Miguel. Very nice, very nice. Oh wait, sorry, I was already not paying attention to having this thing beyond the stream, which is my bad. If I do that, then don't blame me. Blame my friends on the other side. Dum 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 dum. So yeah, essentially now I have you could technically say a voice preset on my EQ mixing, right? That is technically similar, somewhat at least, to Vox Akuma, which I think is pretty cool. The problem is I don't necessarily know if I can really make a tutorial out of it, because it's kind of annoying, and it's unique for every voice, because not every voice is going to need the same requirements for it to sound like this, sort of. So that's an interesting point of consideration that I haven't really thought enough about, but we're just going to accept it and see where it goes, I guess. Free hard ice cubes. Great. Great indeed. I want the ice cubes to be hard, especially for this summer. Especially because it'll enable you to have the coldest of drinks, the coldest of ones. Again, I'm just outlining everything a tiny bit. And what that does is it, from a distance, creates a cleaner look on the plating. Because it looks a little goofy and it doesn't look... It doesn't look particularly realistic, but it's not realism really going for. We're going for like stylized fun. And what this looks like, maybe up close, like this, looks a little awkward, right? Like this looks a little awkward. But if you look at it from a distance... Wait, let's see if we put it here. We aim for that, then that's going to look better. Sort of. Again, you'll get the idea when I get there. Yep. Yeah. It should be called the Vox Akuma preset. That would be not a bad idea. True, but you'll probably end up tweaking it after stream. I can't deny that. That is very true. I tend to do that all the time, actually. I tweak the things so much that sometimes I think it sounds good, and then after, like a week afterwards, I'll be like, no. And then I have to change it because, well, that's what my mind then says that I have to do, and then we follow the mind. We follow the dopamine. See where it leads you. Down a rabbit hole of fucking audio technicalities, not gonna lie. I'm learning that, the Echo XLR Mini technically has a hiss issue. Because it has a gain issue. Not a gain issue. It just has people are technically using the gear, not really what it's intended for. Or like what it's intended for isn't to sound as good as what people think it's going to sound. So then they fuck around with it. And then they find out like problems. Like me. But the good thing about fucking around and finding out is that, well, if I fuck around enough, eventually I get a preset I like. Okay, the one thing I don't like about these brushes is that like they're very much... They keep the blue for a long time. I don't like the discoloring. So what I like more about the other ones is that they have they stay their weird, the pig hide skin color. Collab, no. Collab with Vox Akuma. Ah yes, me, Tiny Tori, will reach out to Vox. Maybe one day. Who knows? That'd be funny. That'd be very funny. Tiny Tori and Vox Akuma. Two demons in their own respects. Lore-wise, it's a funny one. Ah yes, the vtuber lore, the thing I fucking never use for anything outside of when I want to be an asshole in games. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna darken. You might say, oh, my Tori, you're darkening the screen. Yes, but what I'm allowing it to do is give me more leeway on the focus. So there's a bigger, like, there's like a wider window of where the focus is. So I'm able to move a little bit more to the front and a little bit more to the back without it losing focus, you see? So I have like a wide window like this, essentially. I have like from here to here-ish where I can be, and it is fairly like sharp for you guys. And the only sacrifice is what? Like the screen is just a tiny tad bit darker. So that's not too bad, right? To be able to see what the fuck I'm doing. Also, technically, this might even be closer to how I'm seeing it in anything. I'm drinking. Little thing in my throat. Panel lining is a bitch. Oh shit. Well, this is what I'm doing wrong already. Look, it accidentally filled up the gap in between there. That's not what I wanted it to do. Let's see if we can salvage this. Or if it's going to be one of those, it's a pain in my ass and I can't solve it. Get it out, please, please, please. Don't, no, don't stay in there. Don't stay in there. Get it out, come on. Let me get wet and maybe dissolve it with water to get it out of that gap. Shit, now the entire gap is fucking wet. Shit, god damn it. Not like this, not like this. Sadness. Okay, the gap is wet and I don't think there's much we can do about it. Oof. Very much oof moment. Just mix the full drop of thing with water. See what we get. Like density wise at least. See what we get. Actually, that's not bad. Funnily enough, I seem to be pretty good at like mixing it at the point where it's like just the amount of water I add. If I mix it all, like I kind of get the perfect like densities. It's when I try to like have it half and half and like have a little bit over. That's when I kind of fuck up. Weirdly enough. Huh. Interesting. Wait a minute, by the way, in Tic Tac, did I fucking turn this as an no live moderators? I'm not asking about live moderators, you fucking hacks. Wait a minute, I'm just gonna restart that live because I just noticed something about the way I had it set in, right? That's that. Okay, no, it's not limited to 18 plus and older. I thought it was for a second, which would be stupid because why? Add topic. Chat and interview. Music. News and event. Education? This is not education. Beauty and fashion. Beauty and fashion? Sure, this is beauty and fashion. I think it's beautiful. Fuck off. God damn it. Okay, go live on TikTok. Click, 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 clack. Let's leave it there. So yeah, more than likely I'll end up tweaking all this fucking like mic shit anyway. So whatever I say now might not even be applicable in the next stream. It'll be applicable for this stream, so that's pretty nice. So at least there will be one stream with these settings, and even if the next one's different, it'll be inspired by these settings more than likely. Although I'll be honest, eventually I do stop tweaking shit. Case in point, the regular stream encoder and quality of it. I haven't adjusted that in months. Like the encoder, its resolution, the settings on it, the amount of like encoding options and stuff, I haven't changed it. In months, I've actually kept it the same. It's like visually, technically speaking, the streams haven't changed at all. Like the visual fidelity you're seeing on them has been the same like this for like at least a good, like, month, 2 months maybe. So eventually I do stop tweaking some settings. I eventually actually do reach the Valhalla of set it and forget it. But in the meantime, okay, I don't really get even enough layering on that thing, so that's my bad. Round of applause, proud of me. Ah yes, more condescension. Lovely. Love that. The one downside is there's a lot of grain. Like video... nope, don't look at it, Tori. If you don't look at the representation of your video grain, plus it gets encoded away anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if you don't look at it, it doesn't exist. The video grain, like manual 101. If you don't see it, it doesn't exist. Just don't look at it. Just don't look for it. Okay, push it more down. Sorry. I still have that thing, right? When I look down, that my character just loses all eye tracking, so it just closes its eyes and it looks like I'm sleeping. That's the one annoying thing I haven't found a fix for yet. Especially when I'm going into concentration mode. There isn't much I can do about it. You motherfucker. And you could say, hey, isn't that an it is what it is kind of problem? I could say, yeah. But I don't like that solution. I think it is what it is problem. Sometimes it really is what it is, but sometimes it is what it is. Presents you with an opportunity to fix whatever issue is staring you in the face. Other times there is no solution and you're just fucked. In those cases, it's best to accept that you are fucked. Well, let's be honest. It's not fucked until you've exhausted every option. That's when something's fucked. Until that time, it is just not repaired or undiagnosed or fucked, but like in a different way, you know. Sleepy ASMR stream. Funnily, pretty good that the visuals are through the tweak phase. Kinda. Very sometimes I'll occasionally maybe tweak a thing, but the only thing I tweak is like during the Bloodborne stream, for example, right? The gamma curve, like on the color correction curve on the stream, because the way that OBS translates the colors back down from HDR sometimes make them a little too bright. So I'll like change the SDR version of that just a tad, like a twinge, right? But that's not really adjusting. That's like just having it on standby to just tweak it just a tiny bit for individually for every stream. So it's not the same thing necessarily. It's different. Different experience. Oui. I don't know the lyrics. Got the song on my phone. I was listening through it when I was riding through the city on my scooter yesterday. Honestly, banger of a song. The Edgy song, the ending song of Oshinoko season 1. Like the build up of it is pretty good, right? For like cliffhanger sort of thing. It really fits the drama setting of it all. But it also just is a banger of a song. It's good. It's a good song. I dig it. It has the Tori seal of approval. It would be interesting to do a cover of that if I could. And again, I need to first master. Not necessarily master. I need to first just do some more covers of other things as well. I made a promise to myself, right? The idea is that I should make, there must be, in my lifetime, there should exist a cover of me of all the Bionicle songs. That should just exist. Like, Gravity Hurts, Face Me, even the fucking Crashed song, which is like Face Me, but like the bad version, because it was used in the US markets, and it wasn't like the coolest song. It doesn't have the same impact as Face Me does. But, you know, we still accept it, because it's still a good song. It's still a banger of a song. It just isn't as good as Face Me. And I have been arguing with dipshits on the internet for that since I was 6, I think. Well, arguing. More like back then I kind of argued with it, right? Like, I haven't argued really since then, because that discussion has died down, because Bionicle fucking died. So, you know. Now, recently, and thanks to TikTok, it's been getting like a revival where people are like, oh yeah, Bionicle, remember that? And everyone's like, oh my god, I remember Bionicle, they were so great. And I'm like, where were you people when I was still into it? Right? Right when Gladiatorials, when the Glatorians were released, I was still into that shit. Everyone else had moved on by then, calling me things like nerd and geek. And why are you still playing with those? I don't get it. Bastards. I don't know when the Glatorians released, by the way. That might have been 2009. And I was perfectly still within age range to play with those things. Because they were awesome. Because they were like kind of like puzzles. But then you had an action figure at the end that had more posability than all action figures on the market. That's what made Bionicles great, right? Because you could afterwards you can customize them to your heart's content. If you just had enough bits, like enough like if you had enough like remaining pieces, you could kind of make them whatever you wanted to. And again, the good thing is about these Marines as well is like, hey, they don't have to look perfect. So if they're not that well done by the end of it all, it's fine. We'll just do another set. Part of the fun of painting here, right, is that I'm just doing it. It's not necessarily that it has to look great. Would I prefer it look good? Of course. But I'm not a master painter. I'm a dipshit that has not done this for over 10 years. So, you know, we're just relearning as we go along. And that is more than enough in my book. I mean, who still plays with Legos? I liked it before it was popular. It's not childish trust. Fuck off. No, it really, no, it was cool. Bionicle building stream. I fucking got a few. Actually got a box full of them, because then a while ago, since it was actually, funnily enough, right before like the craze of it started online. I just, for shits and giggles, was like, yeah, I have adult money. I'll get myself like a box full of them, right? Because I kind of don't have a lot of the Bionicles I used to as a kid. So I got a box full of them, right? Being like, now I have a whole bunch of them. But they were all built already, but they have the boxes in the instruction manual. So what I could do is just unbuild them, which is very easy, pull them apart and be like, okay, now for stream, we're going to be building a bunch of, actually, that is a smart ass idea. Why don't I do that? Why haven't I done that up until now? Well, just because I got distracted by doing other things like this, the thing I got into like a few years after I got into Bionicle. Well, kind of Bionicle ended and then I got into this, not gonna lie. I think Warhammer was sort of the end signifier of me playing with like Lego toys and shit, and the entrance to wargaming. Oh, I was a weird kid. Don't think about it too much. There you go. Another Tori factoid, another Tori lore bit, That's what these streams have turned into. It's turned into me, not doxing, but like just giving information about me and my past. Which is interesting. It's because it's Warhammer, so it's kind of so tied to my youth that, of course, I'm going to sort of talk about it a tiny bit. I guess that makes sense, right? really want to build Lego sets on stream. They really have pretty cool ones. Drew, maybe like a Star Wars one. Star Wars ones have always been good. Not gonna lie. But again, when I bought Legos and shit, the main thing that was out back then was the fucking greatest. It was the Clone Wars stuff, because like Star Wars, the Clone Wars, that show was so good for toys, man. The toys that came out of that shit was great. Oh, there's like a hype and an energy around them. Not gonna lie. Dum, 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 dum. I love how like every opening in that show, like the End the Republic, and it's like a news feed of like a. It's literally like a news feed of like propaganda, and that just went over everyone's head. Where it's like, how propaganda-y is this? Because it's like part of the point of Star Wars is that you a lot of people kind of misread a lot of it, especially within the Clone Wars era. Because yeah, there's a war going on or whatever, but in the back of it all, it's not the good guys that are. It's not like the Jedi are really the good guys in this conflict. Not necessarily the Separatists either, but like just in general, the Sith is behind it all anyway. And they were behind all of the different pawns that were used then. Just how Palpatine won. He was playing chess with himself. So whichever side won, they'd lose. Oh God. Star Wars. I am not getting more into that rabbit hole than I already have. I know too much knowledge. I know too much things. I know about the scripts for episode 9. I know about like all the stupid Star Wars extended lore. I can't, like, not off the top of my head, but like, let's say you bring up a topic from it, like more than likely I'll at least know something adjacent to it. Like how Twi'leks are the galaxy's like sex workers for some reason. Because they're like considered very attractive or something like that. Those are like the Twi'leks are like the ones with the two twin tails. The ones that dance in Jabba's hut and like Jabba's palace in like the Star Wars movies. Their race afterwards got like a thing where it's like, yes, they're very much sex trafficked throughout the galaxy. Which then is like, wait, isn't this made for kids again? It's like, yeah, oh yeah, oops. Don't know why that's a thing, but like it's a thing. Clone Wars, yes, I loved it. Would always stop intensely read them. Nah, Clone Wars was great. Clone Wars was great because it introduced Commander Rex, the fucking coolest of all the clone troopers. Was it because he had blue stripes and that made him cool? Yes. Yes, that made him cooler. Sometimes it's not too complicated. Sometimes it's not, you have to like, oh my God, how did people enjoy this show? It's like because he had blue stripes and he's just the coolest clone trooper, I was more of a Commander Cody fan. Yeah, sure you were, you traitor son of a bitch. I'll never forget, he tried to shoot down Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars 3. Fuck him. Although the way he did it was pretty cool. He just points his finger guns, just says, blast him! Anyone else used to do that? Playing with like toys and shit, you just go, pew 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 pew. You just fucking like make all the noises. Okay, so now we added the blue stripes to him. Actually waiting for him to dry a little bit, and because the paint for the blue is like almost gone anyway, I might as well first try all the different colors on him. So he's our test marine for today. You are our test marine. Aren't you proud? Beep beep beep. Blue stripes equals goat. True. I'm correct. You cross my Obi-Wan, you get the blacklist from me. Indeed. No, I was a fucking big Obi-Wan stan for man, bro. Well, although over time, Hayden Christensen's like Anakin is also pretty cool. He has in Revenge of the Sith, I'll be honest, he has the best hair. Like the way he carries his hair in that movie, great, excellent. But Obi-Wan, there was just something about like the beard look and everything, and just the kindness in his eyes, just the best, Which is why I'm pissed off that Kenobi kind of sucks. It doesn't suck. It's just. Funnily enough, for a show with not that many episodes, it's too bloated. That's my opinion. That's my like Obi-Wan hot take here. The show is too bloated for its own good. It could have been way shorter, just centralized around the central figure, Obi-Wan, his problems and whatever, not these other fuckheads in the galaxy who I don't care about, right? That and the biggest missed opportunity of all, were for which someone made a fan edit, right? That final battle within the show, not referencing music, not using musical cues, references, and leitmotifs from the prequel trilogy, I will swear to God, is the most missed opportunity, piss me off moment of all. If they had Duel of the Fates, or a variation of it, or the Duel of the Fates theme that they had planned to use in episode 9 but then never did, if they used that there, God, that would have been so glorious, right, to end it. But no, missed opportunity. I just didn't do it. I think on the... Wait, before I talk about it, let me double check. Actually, this is the first I have to actually double check the channel because I'm not completely certain about something. Because I might not have talked about this on the channel before, technically speaking. Because I don't think Kenobi was... Wait, did Kenobi come out 2 years ago and not 1 year ago? If that's true, then... Wait, has Kenobi been... Is the Kenobi show already 2 years old? Oh, please don't tell me it's... Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, Kenobi oh, my God. Is Kenobi at least 1.5 years old now? The show? I've never talked about it before on the channel, really, have I? You've got to be shitting me. How the fuck is this possible? That is surprising. Oh, my God. Yeah, no, that's a whole bunch of... Wow. Wow, it really has been some time, hasn't it? Shit. Okay, fuck it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Fuck it. I didn't know that. At least 2 years? Keftrin, welcome to the YouTube chat. How you doing? Oh my God, so Kenobi, oh my God, the Kenobi show is... So, okay. Kenobi show. Kenobi show comes out, and the final episode is but the battle within it misses this punch. And I thought the show was holding back on it the entire time, right? Like the show was just savoring it for that last moment. That what they were gonna do was use the use the music utilized within what's its name? That they were going to use the music from the prequel trilogy, or use whatever we wanted, just like a Duel of the Fates, Battle of Brothers, Battle of Mustafar, variation or a mixed up or a new rendition of it, right? For that final battle, for that final like goodbye to the prequels, right? It's drying. The paint is drying. We're painting this little guy. We're painting him. Don't worry. Don't be impatient. Where's the painting? It'll come. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'm talking about Star Wars. It's a Star Wars stunlock. So essentially, the Kenobi show doesn't do anything really with that prequel music, which is just a shame because it could have made that show so much stronger in its delivery, because it could have not just been about, whatever it was supposed to be about, but it could have actually contained a send-off to the prequel trilogy. Not only that, but they technically already had the song within their library, so it's not like they had to record anything, because for one of the trailers for episode 9, they essentially used this special rendition of final Duel of the a Duel of the Fates variant, right? But that variation of that theme technically has its own version that was just never utilized. So they could have just used that, which would have been excellent. But then they didn't. And I don't know why. And the music they did use is really boring. It's like Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan Kenobi, their final showdown. And somehow it's sleep-inducing. Did it need the very fast violins going? Yes. I don't care. It needed it. It needed that epic scope within that small area. And there is some mad lad out there that did it. That edited the Battle of Mustafar / Duel of the Fates music to that final fight, right? Made it hype up with the music and stuff like that. And it fucking works, right? It is so great. It works in such an excellent fashion. And then they just never fucking did it within the show, and that pisses me off, okay? Because it's like, you had one opportunity to do this right, and it's kind of moot. That's my annoyance with Star Wars. It's just, every time they like can get close to really great things, it ends up being moot, or like kind of half-baked, or just kind of disappointing. I only don't have that with one property. However, I haven't watched all of season 3 yet. Mandalorian season 1 and 2, excellent. And the sections of Book of Boba Fett that were basically just the Mandalorian 2.5, also great. So, like, I don't know. I can't really fault the Mandalorian. I just like it. It's a cool slice of life show, you know? I don't mind. This is another 10-minute side quest. Maybe. I don't mind about Star Wars except like the memes. Well, yeah. Well, fair enough. But even within the memes, again, that on a scale of 1 to 10, it was disappointing. It needed callbacks to the OG tracks, especially because, like, from a musical standpoint, there are so many leitmotifs within the original setup there that they could have called back to or used or whatever. That it's just kind of sad that they never really did. On a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointing. If 10 was a disappointment, I felt like a 7. 8 for me. If 10 is the most disappointing, then it's about an 8, where it's like, it's that feeling where, okay, I got what I wanted, like a rematch, but if I knew it was going to be like this, I wouldn't have wanted it at all. If that makes sense. Because they were, but that's their own fucking fault. They were hyping this shit up for years, right? The idea of Ian McGregor coming back to reprise the role of Obi-Wan, fuck yeah. People have been yelling at that for ages, and like the rumors of it being made and the rumors withheld of it, right? There's so much like speculation and hype around this. So when they got to doing it, I find it just disappointing that they spared expense on it. Because this is like, if you're gonna splooge your shit everywhere, you might as well have done it on the Kenobi show. Because that's, that would have gotten the viewers back. Especially because, for one, people now are nostalgic about the prequels. Not only that, but the reputation of them has been brought up so much over the years by the Clone Wars show, right? Making that stuff so much better. It's very heartwarming to also hear Ewan McGregor say that he kind of caught up, at least for part of it, to know what his character went through, and to like better embrace it and learn from it, right? Hearing that shit is so nice. To see none of it incorporated into that show in any capacity just feels like such a wasted opportunity. And that's the disappointing thing about Star Wars, is that every time you want to talk about, hey, there's these great things within it, then you always have to bring up, okay, now there's also this problem, right? Like for the prequels, I can say, hey, they're kind of fun, but some of the compositing in episode 1 is kind of honky, right? It's not the CGI that looks bad. It's the digital compositing, which you could technically say is also computer effects, but like the reason it looks bad is because a lot of sets were made with like little miniatures and shit. Episode 1 of Star Wars technically has the most miniature work of any Star Wars movie. The thing that makes it look awkward is that the masking and the compositing, just the technology for that just wasn't there yet. So it was just a little too early in that, in its like in the timeline of its existence, which then people blamed falsely to being like, the CGI looks bad. It's like, no. This is miniature work. It is just composited in a way that it doesn't look good. And with compositing, I mean, let's say you have this figure, right? And you see how there's like a backdrop here? Let's say we expose this figure so that we basically cut out this entire figure. We remove the backdrop and then put it on essentially like how a green screen works, right? We put it on a different background and try to match the two up. Doing that is what went wrong with episode 1. Because they did it so much, and scale-wise, not everything matched 100%, and lighting-wise, not everything matched 100%, which made it feel a bit awkward and out of place. And because your eyes, as a human, are just that actually well adjusted to knowing what's reality, it can look uncanny. And that's a disappointing thing, where it doesn't always look that good. Whilst episode 3 looks way better, because one, they used way more CGI by that point because they had fully switched to a digital pipeline by that point, but also because compositing just got better over the years as well. Episode 3 strangely holds up pretty well for a lot of it, I'll be honest. it's like going to watch Pirates 1 and stuff like that. Like a lot of those, like around the mid 2000s, right? Around the mid 2000s, I'd say compositing with CG was pretty much not perfected, but at least good enough to the point where you don't notice it. And CGI full integration was at least well enough made by the time Avatar came out. Right? Let's be honest. Somewhat. Although I'll argue before then, which is why when Avatar came out, I'll be honest, for me, I don't think it was anything that special because it was like, oh, it was the first time everything looks super realistic. It's like, yeah, Davy Jones looked realistic. I don't get you guys. Yeah, it's cool, but like, Again, my rambling may not make 100% sense, but if you catch just a tiny bit of it, then you kind of understand where I'm coming from. If that makes any sense. Let's try and clean out this brush up a tiny bit better so that it has less. But I think the blue coloring is not going to disappear from it, though, sadly enough. So, like, buyer's regret? Kind of. Yeah, a bit, yeah. Wasn't Yoda clowned on in one of these movies? Not really. Okay, people found it very offensive. Again, this is also the thing, right? Star Wars fans, and especially the Star Wars fans from old, they're all assholes. They're basically all assholes. Because this is the thing with Star Wars fans. And I'll admit to that, to an extent, I probably fall under it a tiny bit as well. Star Wars fans are never happy with what comes out in the current age. They're always bitching about it not being canon, not being good, not being like faithful to the originals, or blah, 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 whatever, right? So what people took offense to within Star Wars in Episode 2 was when they had Yoda do a fight scene, they made Yoda flip around like some kind of gremlin goblin. Which is very funny. But also wasn't really appreciated. But it's also very funny. Mixing more yellow paint. Because I want to use the phalanx. Yeah, might not be too early though. Clean up the yellow, that might be too early because it's too yellowy. Maybe I should at least first use Keel yellow and then highlight with the other one. Could do that too, technically speaking. Yeah, maybe that's a better idea. Wasn't Yoda clowned for having it ugly? Oh yeah, no, the first movie had a, funnily enough, again, people wanted to blame CG, but it wasn't. The first movie had an actual like IRL puppet, right? But the puppet was made to look like a younger version of Yoda. And the younger version of Yoda translated to like this skinny old ball sack instead of the other ball sack they had in the later movies. So the design just kind of looked awkward. And by the second movie, they had fully replaced him with a CG model that, in my opinion, just kind of looks good. Like that's the design. Well, that's maybe because I grew up with it, right? So that's the design like younger Yoda has, which I think just looked fine, to be honest. I love the ramble, always learning something. One of the Yoda puppets was a little wonky. Yeah, the first movies. The first movie was a little wonky, in my opinion. Love how expressive his hands were during the ramble. This is the thing. I do tend to talk with my hands a bit, but you don't get to see it most of the time because, well, VTuber models don't have hands. So it's not really like a thing that I get to do that much. But now I do. So, you get to see this like swabbling mind thing where it just walks around and swaps around the screen from time to time, which is kind of funny in its own right, right? At least in my opinion. Yeah, it's episode 2 CG. It's episode 1. The episode 2 and 3 CGI is fine. It looks fine in those. OG Yoda was a puppet, and some people hate that, but I love it. No. The Henson puppets for the old ones were good within the old ones, but for those newer ones, the CGI puppet looks fine and feels better within the CG world. Because that's the second thing that nobody wants to fucking talk about, right? Is that CG elements look better within a CG world. The moment you start compositing from one to the other, you get into the uncanny valley, usually because you just don't have the enough granular detail, grain, or other details that like really translate, right? Not only that, but if everything is made out of like practical effects, everything just blends together better than if you try and do a mix of the two. It becomes harder. Not impossible, just harder. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to take some heel yellow. I think you pronounce it like that. I have no idea. Take out the back of this thing. Whoop, take a blob of that. Put the blob on the paper. Put the Creel yellow on the stand so you can see it. well, not read it, but see it. Map out, just try and wipe out as much as possible. And then take a bit of water, put it here, and start mixing. And pull in from the side to water it down a bit. And notice it's too fucking watery, because of course it is. Although I'll be honest, the Yoda design that they used for the Clone Wars, the animated show, right? Star Wars, the Clone Wars, that one is a little awkward in my opinion. I think that took some getting used to. Especially because I thought the movie design one looked just a tiny bit better because he had a fatter head in like a different way. But it was also just for the angular design of the entire show, it worked better out in the end, right? It just took a little bit of getting used to. As a kid, I just found that a little weird. But I still stick by my guns and say episode 3 holds up pretty well. I like it. Does it mean it's peak cinema? Of course not. But as far as like an action movie goes, like an action adventure movie, you can do way worse. And if anything, I'm surprised people always find the politics within Star Wars very boring. If anything, it's like the politics are what gives your action scenes context. Especially because that's, kind of what Star Wars has always been about. Ah, yes, let's go into that territory. Definitely no, definitely no controversial opinions in that aspect. But it's true, though. Lucas has always been a very upfront political figure when it comes to the messaging within his movies. You know? It's just, if you don't read Star Wars with any of that in it, it's like you're literally engaging. It's not like you can read it wrong, right? But like, don't you get that the Empire is supposed to be the bad guys? Yeah, exactly. And it's supposed to make you reflect on things that, exist in your real world. And even if told a little clunkily and poorly to some people, the fall of democracy that is described within the prequel trilogy is a captivating one. It's a captivating tale. How fear-mongering and division can lead to free people embracing dictatorship. I don't really want to dive into Star Wars franchise, but it's like a deep one. Probably binge the movies. Chris, just start with the movies and don't let anyone intimidate you. Is I feel like I'll actually accomplish something in my life. Star Wars is truly a political drama. It is. But it truly is. To deny that is to deny like the entirety of the fucking thing. The fucking thing's existence. The Empire are the bad guys. And Palpatine was behind it all. So then when you go to the prequels, it's like, well, that's Palpatine. He's behind it all. So how does he work? How does a man like Palpatine, who everyone basically can agree on is like a monster, how does he rise to power? Well, he exploits the fears of a bunch of rich assholes that will give it to him and creates this thing called a war economy. Where would that sound very familiar? As an American, I'm allowed to say that. Fuck off. But it's true, though. And now we're verging on the edge of very controversial stuff, so I'll stop there. Enough being mega-based for one day. What's poppin', Kriya? Welcome. And if, by the way, Chris, if you want a recommendation on Star Wars and where to start, right? I'm gonna give you the opposite way of watching it, which is, and this is the thing, right? Okay, you're gonna have to trust me on this because I'm gonna have to. Oh God, we're going on another tangent here because I have to. The way I'm gonna recommend you watch Star Wars in will not make a lot of sense at first, right? To people that know Star Wars, but I'm gonna say keep this in mind. A very interesting way I find of consuming media is sometimes it's funnier to watch media out of order. Example, You're watching a TV show back in the day, but you don't know which episode you're on. So you just kind of start watching, and eventually you pick up on clues that fill you into certain details, right? And eventually, if you like the show enough, you might go check out the earlier seasons to actually get context to the references that were made throughout the show, right? Keep that in the back of my mind as I give my recommendation. Is he working on the sergeant? Sergeant is I think it's the sergeant. I don't know. It's the guy with the little thing on his head. Oh, sorry, it's not focused anymore. Oh, yeah, wait, I have to get closer. Beep, beep. I have here blurry, there blurry. Okay, so I have to keep it here. That's the best way to watch media while high on cocaine. God damn it. So my watching stuff out of order for not maximum enjoyment, right? But let's be honest, you're smart enough, you can catch up on clues oh, that must have been important, or that must have been important, but you don't really have to know everything, right? You'll catch oh, the Great War, yeah, that'll probably have been an important thing, right? Okay. So my recommendation order, Chris, for how you watch Star Wars is you don't start with any of the movies. None of them. You start with The Mandalorian. For people that know Star Wars, you're like, oh, because it's the newest one, because it's the best. No. You start with The Mandalorian because it's a self-contained story that takes place within the Star Wars universe, and it's told competently. But you could do that with Andor. I don't care. I don't care about Andor. I don't care about those shows. Haven't watched them. You start with The Mandalorian because it's also the best one, right? It's self-contained. You'll quickly understand why something like a Baby Yoda is cute, right? Because it appeals to very basic, basic nature, right? It's not too complicated. Baby-ish character that's cute and adorable. And you'll, through that show, be filled in on many clues. Order 66, you'll get many clues throughout the show of things that have happened. You'll see them from different perspectives, right? And you'll have seen oh my god, all these things that happened and whatever, and they have contexts that I don't know about yet, and that is fine. You'll just roll along with the punches. Empire? Who's the Empire? Oh, what are these guys? What have they gone through? Right? Luke Skywalker. What's a Luke Skywalker? Why is he so important? And then after season 2 or whatever, because again I haven't watched season 3, so I can't continually talk about what happens next, right? Depending on if you're interested in it, that's when you go back and you start watching episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Yes, because actually, this is where you can go into two directions. After watching Worst Nightmare, welcome to the Twitch chat. How you doing? Welcome. You basically start with Mandalorian because it's a self-contained story within the thing. You'll get many clues about the larger world, and you can be filled in on them later on if you want to, right? Then you stand before a choice. Do you want to watch chronologically, or do you want to watch on episode release? Which is to say, you could watch episode 4, 5, 6 to understand the context of the world that the Mandalorian is set in, right? So that you understand, okay, what was the history here? You'll watch that then, right? As an expansion on your knowledge within the Mandalorian. And then you can go, okay, so how did this world come to be? And then you explore episode 1, 2, 3. That way you go back in a way where you explore more characters as you go along. It's criminally adorable. Punting Baby Yoda. Watch the show. Me and the boys at 11:30 hunting Elder-Sea in the name of the Emperor. No, brother, do not let your mind be guided astray by the Elder-Sea. You cannot let that be done. The Emperor protects, but not against that. Okay. The yellow is outlined thick enough. I'm going to let that dry a bit. Extra layer to the body there. Oh, shit. No. I fucked up. I put up. Shit. Let's see if I can get it off. Please get it off. Yes. Okay, I got the... Okay, so wait. Sorry, weren't able to see that. What I accidentally did was here, I added a big glob of paint, which filled up the crevices, which is not what I wanted to do. So I quickly went in to remove it, kind of. Now you get a little bit of dirt on the side here from the blue, but I'll just go over that. With a bit of the blue paint. One or two extra layers might ought to do it. Concentrated there. What are you going to paint after these lads? The Necrons? I could paint the Necrons, Sri and YouTube chat. However, this is Saturday also, the new set is coming out, right? The Leviathan set box. So it might be that I leave the Necrons for later. Might get that set and then paint the Marines in those. So we go from one set of Marines to the next set of Marines, which will be the same Marine colors, but like better done maybe by that time. And then we get to choose between Necrons and Tyranids. Maybe I'll make that a community poll, actually, not gonna lie, on the YouTube chat. So keep tabs on either in the Discord, the poll channel, or on the YouTube community tab for whenever that comes out. 'Cause, yeah, no, I'll leave that up to a poll. I think that'll be the most interesting to do. But yeah, Chris, so for your question of, hey, Star Wars, where do I start? I think, even though it's a controversial opinion, that might be the most interesting one. Especially because with Mandalorian, it just drops you in a world, you don't know anything, but it has the pacing of something of more nowadays. If I say, hey, go watch A New Hope, Star Wars 4 as the first one, it's going to feel a little bit old-timey and like some of the pacing's a bit awkward, and it's just kind of short for what it is. But if you watch the newer ones, at least it'll be hyped up a little bit more, as in like you'll want to learn the context for a lot of those things, right? At this point, you aren't convinced yet to want to know the context of the world. So let me give you something where you would want to learn the context of that world, essentially, right? So that's why, Chris, watch The Mandalorian Season 1. Start there. See where that takes you. And if you're interested in the world around it, then watch episode 4, 5, 6 to get more context on the world that The Mandalorian takes place in, right? And if you want more information on the galaxy at large after that, you can watch episode 1, 2, 3. And then you get suckered into the millions of YouTube videos explaining way too many things about the old lore versus the new lore. Ha 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 ha. Have fun with that. Oh. And by the way, and if you don't watch episode 1, 2, 3 and you think it kind of sucks, then, you know, for more context, watch the Clone Wars, which is TV animated episode, the animated TV show. Or watch the Genndy Tartakovsky like Clone Wars miniseries. There's only a few episodes, has really good animation, same dude from Samurai Jack, same kind of animation style as Samurai Jack. So, not bad either. You kind of get both, because actually, funnily enough, the Genndy show still has some things within it that are canon and kind of necessary to be seen, because they don't take place in the animated show. Because the animated show technically takes place after, like the 3D animated show, right? Takes place technically after the Genndy Tartakovsky thing, but before the last episode of that Genndy Tartakovsky show. It takes like somewhere in the middle. It's weird, okay? Don't question it too much. It's just weird. Time to dive into the rabbit hole. I'm gonna just binge with my bestie. Just start with The Mandalorian. I swear to God, just start with a fun show. It's not too big. It's not too like grand galaxy spanning adventures or whatever. No, it's focused on a single character, their little things within this bigger world, and then through that, it'll introduce you into more and more of the world, right? I think that's the smartest way to go about it. 4, 5, 6 also work in a similar way, but it's you're either for it or you're against. You're not for it or against it, but I think it takes a little bit more getting into it to be open to the things it might lack by being older. If that makes sense. Star Wars fans are going to kill me for that expression. There's nothing wrong with the old ones. How can you dare suggest that? Well, I did. Fuck off. Immediate antagonism. Tori doesn't make any friends. Tori only makes enemies. I'm literally that meme where it's like, I don't want peace. I want problems always. I'm literally just that. I'm literally just that person. Okay, we're going to be adding a tiny dab of Mephiston red. And we're going to be very, 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 very careful. What I'm going to be doing is taking a tiny dab of that. The equivalent of, oh, even less than that. The equivalent of a tiny needle drop. And even less than a needle drop. And his eyes will be painted red. Welcome to the most anxiety-inducing part of the fucking hobby. Tits. Add a tiny bit of, yeah. Add blue. Can't vouch Tori's problematic all the time. I'm not problematic. I'm the most based VTuber of all. I just pick fights with everyone for no good reason. It's like I'm the geek that I'm the geek that tells everyone they're wrong for no other reason than to start problems. It's like, oh, but the fandom has agreed on this. Yes, but the fandom is dumb. But the mimic is a real thing. No, the mimic is stupid. No, I will not go in a FNAF tangent again. Okay, I'm going to do that second eye, but I'm going to be very careful with it. Okay, hold them here, hold them in pace. I might zoom the camera out a bit more to get a bit more leeway on my depth of field. Good enough. Welcome to my approach to the eyes. Good enough is good. I'm restarting my fucking thingamajig right away. I was restarting the TikTok stream, by the way, because that one just fucking... there, and go live. Dum, dum, dum. There we go. The time the channel wasn't up terrible because of this Apple rant. Okay, but that is different. It's because apparently there were being dicks all over the internet. I think. So there's some news regarding the Meta Quest Pro 2. That development of it is being halted or whatever. So that's interesting. I guess it's just problem with VR is the main thing that's stopping everyone from getting it is that everyone wonders, hey, did you fix like the nausea problem yet? And then they go, well, kinda, but not really. And it's like, okay, so it's not ready yet. The moment you fix the nausea problem is the moment you fix VR. That's kind of the, let's be honest, that's the VR barrier in my opinion. It's like if you can fix the nausea problem, that's when VR truly becomes a thing. But how do you fix it? Difficult. It's difficult. I'm actually interested in getting another whatchamacallit, in getting another drink, another energy drink, just to have a little bit more, you know. Okay, so he has red eyes now. Now we're gonna leave the yellow paint there. Hopefully it doesn't dry all the way up. That would be annoying. And we're gonna be using, okay, I guess now we're gonna be using the gray cedar. Although the gray cedar might be too light for this actually. Maybe in a similar vein, it might be smart to just use the Mechanica standard gray for highlighting. To add like a little volumetric lighting to everything before we do edge highlights. Nah, we immediately move on to the next step. Fuck it. Which is gray cedar. Great. Oh shit, you can't see that shit. Oh, my bad. Gray cedar. Okay, let me just quietly zoom out a tiny bit more so I have a little bit more leeway on the depth of field. Because what it does, right, if I pull the camera, like, whatchamacallit, if I pull the zoom lens back, that means it gets to be sharp from, like, if I make, like, this sharp, right, like, say sharp here, then I get to move it at least this much forward, and this much backward. Damn, that's a far way backward. Whatever. Oh damn. Development halted, shock. Here you have it. It's 11:50. Smo 300. Welcome to the YouTube chat. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Welcome, Smo. Not for me. It's a kill issue on you. What the hell? It's only 11:45 in your universe. It's like 6 here, so it's, you know, it's early, but it's early morning. So. Haha. It's so funny how finally I'm able to... Wait, I'm going to open up my chip bag. I'm going to mute because the chip bag opening might actually be very loud. Wait, unless that's a part of the ASMR, right? Like the... It's not a fun sound whatsoever. It's krupuk, like kasav? Kasav. I just think it tastes good. It's a little spicy. I'm hungry. Okay. Right, grab. Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Great. Dirty my entire desk. Why will I? Whoop. No, don't rub paint on it. Fucking idiot. This is the cookie. And cookie will be... Oh, okay, I got it crossed. I got my thing crossed, so it's going to fall any minute. I could let it melt in my mouth. But then I don't like crunchy crunch. Drink some water. The spicy is tingling my tongue. It's tingling my tongues on the side. That and it's making my entire mouth dry, which is the one downside of it. But, you know, I have to suffer for the stream. You know, two sects of Gnosticism survived. Hey, Liang Ming, welcome. How you doing? I demanded this literal marshmallows. Huh. Why sad? Hi, Chris. Welcome. How are you doing? We are getting one guy painted before we do all the other ones, just so I can like get a little bit of a baseline done of all of them. The next thing we're moving on towards was gray cedar as the next paint. Wait, let me shake this thing. This one doesn't make that much noise, interestingly enough. fuel. I want an energy drink now. I shouldn't get that. I should wait at least until 8 before getting it, so that I don't have like each hour I drink an energy drink, right? Although technically I started at 5, and then now it's almost 7, so that's 2 hours. Okay, no, I'll wait a bit longer. I'm eating cherries and hot tea. Oh shit, W. W's everywhere. Pringles. Pringles is good. Okay. That's a satisfying little noise. This is also a new pot. Yes, I have a lot of new pots. But it was a deal where if you get 10, you get one for free. So, and they do the thing where it was like the 10, but the most expensive one is the one that goes for free. So that is also very conductive to me wasting my money. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's use the back of this brush again, right? So this is all cleaned off of the yellow, I think. Yes, especially if I use my nail to do it. I'm gonna take a dab of this. Take a fucking fat ass dab, pretty much more than I needed. Then put it on the thing in the back here. Oh shit, wait, my head's in the way. Here, let's put that there. Let's adjust the focus, rack the focus quickly to be there. Wipe off the paint as much as I can to save it. Then use the water here to like mix it. This is so silent you can't even hear me mixing it. Isn't that funny? But you can kind of see it a little bit. It's a little bright. It's a little bright, so you're not going to be able to perfectly see what I'm doing. But you have to believe. You have to believe in me mixing the entirety of it because I'm a fucking idiot. Fuck. Shit. Oh, that might be too watery. Shit. No, that's too much water. That's too big of a drop. Shit. Yeah, it totally is. Shit. Let's see if we can satiate this by... Okay, my idea there is to remove some of the water and just re-add some paint. Fuck it, there we go, our first wasting of the paint. That took a while. Mix on the side here a bit. Take a bit there. Now rack the focus back forward. Fruity, energize now. Energize now. Marshmallows don't burn, they catch a light. Oh. What? Shit. That's too much shit. That's too much paint. Shit, that looks bad as well. What I wanted to do was this, by the way, what I did now in the top half. Shit, this bottom half is way too wet. Let's just add some water. Dissolve it that way. Because it's newer paint, so it's easily scratchable. Again, this guy's going to be the most dirty of them all. That's fine. Okay, so we take some paint. Then we use our finger to wipe off most of it. Can't be bothered to use a fucking paper towel for it. And we add our light line highlight like this again. Shit, to paint. We'll go again once again. Turn our paint around. God, I hear birds chirping outside. How dare they chirp? How dare they chirp during the Tori stream? How dare any animal exist during the Tori stream, providing distractions from the stream? Imagine if I was a yandere vtuber. God, that fucking controversy died down really quick, didn't it? Sadness, because it was a funny news story. Like one person falsely accused another person of some shit, and then went online on like Twitter to role play their threat about exposing them. I'm not gonna lie, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. The cringe was palpable. Sorry. If you throw it in the fire, it doesn't need burn. To be honest, I'm shook that Chinese Manichaeism survives. It was declared a heresy religion in ancient China, and the ancient dynasties were killing them for their heresy. Damn. That's hardcore. What did they teach the people? Was like their main thing. Why would I throw a perfectly good yet to be burned marshmallow in a fire? Because you burn it. You want to burn it. You apparently want to burn it. That's what your deepest desires say. Your deepest desires dictate you want to burn the marshmallow. I don't know why, but you do. And burning the marshmallow will continue to do the thing because the marshmallow must be burned. Mwahahaha. Ahahaha. Nyeh, 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 nyeh. For funsies, I just like to watch things that are pretty fucking psychopath. How dare you waste a perfectly good marshmallow just for your psychopathic behavior? How dare thee? How dare thee, heathen? Prepare, foul beast, for their days are done. I don't know why. I sometimes like putting on like the Knight Shining Armor accent because I think it's funny. And it reminds me of Shrek the Third. Critically underrated in Shrek movies. Prepare, foul beast, your time is done. Shrek the Third was bad, but it was bad in the best way possible. It had Prince Charming. He was such a funny villain. Oh my god, I'm doing cool things, but I can't show you because I'm very concentratingly doing it. I'm very sorry. There in the back, the little boot thingy here. I'm essentially almost dry brushing this stuff, but like very carefully. Oh my god, I was looking at chat for 2 seconds. What the fuck are you guys doing? Oh god, starting fires. Me too, can literally start a fire with a stick in their flaps. Why is there arson in my fucking chat? Oh my god. You're not gonna be imps, you're gonna be called arsonists. What the fuck? Wasn't there a new Shrek movie? Yes, after the success that was the Puss in Boots movie, DreamWorks, what's left of it, announced that, like, yeah, no, we're making a new Shrek movie, which honestly, a Shrek movie set so many years after the entire ordeal of it, with his children probably either being out of the house or being like teenagers or whatever, that could be interesting, you know? Shrek as a commentary device always kind of worked well. And so I'm interested to see what they do. Maybe they'll probably put a gag in there where it's like all the Disney princesses that they had before all have like redone models that look totally different. It's like, wait, aren't you supposed to be the same person? It's like, no, I'm the remake version. Or it's like, not the remake version, but it's like, no, I'm the same exact version. Nothing changed. But it's like obvious that it's a riff on the whole remake culture that Disney has started, which is biting them in their ass because it's devaluing their brands, technically speaking. Not for the actual people, not for the controversies that people whine about, but for the actual like movie making quality and shit. You know, that's what it is. You can say different strokes for different folks, but I can also say a lot of people are wrong. I'm the baseline for opinions, blah, 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 blah. I'm kidding. Oh my god. I can never kid. This is the internet. One does not simply kid on the internet. You must be deadly serious at all times. You say a thing, then you mean that thing, and you can never mean any other interpretation than whatever the worst interpretation is of the thing you said. Yes. That is very much how the internet works. There's no other way to do it. Mods don't have a arson all over the place. Oh my god. It's like the morbing meme. Both arsonists. And did you know? And she arsoned all over the place. Funniest shit I've ever seen. They made more $1 billion. I saw something that the Barbie movie supposedly isn't good, which would be very sad because it was hyped up as a meme, and I kind of really wanted to go see it. But if it's a bad movie, then why would I? And I would rather wait for it to release on DVD or whatever the fuck, or streaming or whatever the fuck platform it comes out on. Because that way I don't have to spend more money on fucking movies. I ended up not watching The Flash in theaters, by the way. I wanted to do it for a while as like a funny meme, haha gag. But then, I don't know. Then I didn't do it. And then my like hunger to satiate the meme kind of died down. At least I went to go see Spider-Verse movie in the movie theaters, you know, an actual fucking good movie. Which that's important, to go watch good movies. Curious. So gonna watch that. I only want to go if my friends go and I go in cosplay. Yes. Great. Oh, the live action Barbie. Yes, that one. The most based of opinions. To go in cosplay as Barbie or Ken. Either works. Either one's fine. It doesn't have to be a particular one or the other. Either is good. Fine, I have to go get that energy drink. I feel like it. It's been 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours is a good break between energy drinks, right? Like Red Bulls. Not even like Monsters or whatever, you know, Red Bulls. Not even like the hardest shit. I feel like that's a good idea. So relaxing, could straight up fall asleep. Don't worry, I'll how do I want to do this? The thing is, I could go to a loading screen, or I could just kind of leave it on this for a while. So if I DC all of a sudden, you hear it here for... Oh, no problem, Ophi. If you have to go, you have to go. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Wait, I'll just go into this thing. And I'll use this thing momentarily as like a loading screen as we're loading up the next bit. Oh, you know what? I'll re-add the music, so don't be scared. The music's gonna beep. The BGM is gonna be back. And I'll be back in a sec. Give me a few seconds. As I get my as I get another energy as I get another energy drink one. Can't see anything outside of my window. It's so misty. My brain was like, wait, is it misty outside? I have to go check that. Be right back. Be quick. There we go. We're back. Okay, what the fuck? I can't see anything outside my misty. That's so trippy. Wait, if people leave in War Number 40k, can we make a machine god? Well, there was already a machine god of chaos, apparently, who is now within the lore. I got an update on that yesterday about like who is apparently like on his way with Abaddon to do things, because Abaddon asked the machine god for a contract, and the machine demon's weird quirk is that like he'll give you a shitty contract, but he'll be upfront about it. Like, this is how much it's gonna suck, this is how much soul you're gonna have to pay, and whatever the fuck, right? But he doesn't like lie, apparently, unlike Zinj or whatever. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's just interesting. My mom went outside and just straight up disappeared. Oh shit. Into the void, into the mist she goes. Tori is getting his demon nectar, his energy drinks. That is a funny way of phrasing it. I kind of like that, not gonna lie. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Wait, let me get another chippy first. Let's get that chippy. Grab it. Grab it. There I go. This time I did it with my left hand. Look at that. Ambidextrous for the win. Tasty. Another one. And then I can rinse it down with the fucking heart attack drinks. Because that's a good thing. Okay, come on. Fucking. I'm struggling here. For fuck's sake. God damn it. Stupid sticks. Stupid. Oh, come on. I had it and then it fell back in. Maybe that could be a stream. Tori finishing a bag of chips. Aha, got it. Look at that. Tasty. Hello has no weakness. I do not have a weakness, indeed. Oh god, I have to get used to this. Wee, ooh, ah, ee, ooh, ah. I need to get more motions. I need to get more motions that are a little bit more grand so I can just like wah. Oh, this is funny. Whoop. Okay, this was good for now. Let's get this for a moment, right? As I open up my can of energy. Can I put it on top of my hand? Look, it's my tiny hand holding it with my big hand. That's kind of funny, right? Like that's funny. I think that's funny. Unintentionally so, but like it is a bit funny. Let's just open it up. Wait, can I open it up whilst having the microphone pointed at it? Yeah, I kind of can. Wait, crawl over my arm so I can have more like things going on. Tori jump scare is the thing, right? My Tori hut jump scare. Yes. Great. I am the jump scare now. Okay, just so we know, not that one, the default one. There we go. That's my default pose. I'm going to have to make a default pose that's a little bit more to the side, but, you know, fine. No, not video game mode. This one. Yes. Half arm. Haha. There we go. Drinky time. Sippy time. Oh god. That hits different. That one has more fizz in it, not gonna lie. That was a little bit more fizzy? Sparkly? I don't know. The one where it goes wah. Good. That one hit well. That one hit well. Back to the corner. No. Yes. You can hold your model in your hand. Wait a minute. Actually, that is true. I can just wait. Whoop. Bring that. I can hold Tori in my hand. I have one Tori in the palm of my hand. Okay, that is weird. God damn it. Game cam, half of arm. There we go. This is what I'm using. Wow. Okay. So we have this guy now. We have this shaded, essentially all the sides of it, right? So what I want to do now... Sorry, I was just looking at something. What I want to do now is determine an angle where we're going to sort of say that's where the light's coming from. Like, let's say, like we say here. What we're gonna add is like a few extra highlights, rim light highlights, like the ones we've been painting on the model, but only to those few select areas, and not all of them, so that it creates a contrast between the two. I was thinking from here inwards, in the model here inwards, that might be the best one. Oh my god, Keck, what did I do now? I didn't do any funny. Okay, I'm gonna start by painting a little arrow so that we remember what the lighting is. Whoop. Whoop. There we go. More sippy. Okay. And I've already used Tectus Blue. So I'm going to be using for this one first is the horror, the blue horror. Try that one out. Okay, there we go. I shaked it very, very hard. And now we're going to open this. I don't know, you holding your model in your hand was pretty funny. The model. Okay, opening. This is a paint bottle, I think, because you see how the edge has like, it's called edge for one, and not like layer. And two, it has like the gold thing on it. I think this is when I got like, yeah, you can see it's a little more clumpy, the paint. This is an older paint. Can be fixed by putting a little bit more water in it, or like paint thinner, but this will be fine for our use case today. So we're going to take a glob of it out. Same tactic, essentially. Put it there. Use the paper to wipe out some of the paint. Close this again. Put it on top of the little display thing there. What we're then going to do is we're going to use as little water as possible to mix a subsect of it. On the side here, and use our finger as a testing ground. That's too watery again. Fuck. I really have a habit of making this way too more watery than I ought to. Maybe it has something to do with the undersurface being so, like, wet. Actually, I didn't think of that. Honestly, it might be a reason. Maybe it's taking a lot of its water from underneath the paper. Okay. Is what it is. I see it's becoming brighter outside, so we're getting more light inside, technically speaking. Oh, no. So we're making it a bit darker, so I have a bit more leeway. Okay, so we have the light coming in from here-ish. So we're going to only highlight certain edges. That edge. And the bottom here. Then a bit of this edge. This edge. a highlight. Truly a kick W moment. I hear the birds chirping in the distance. They require the sacrifice of the blood. Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne. Let the baby chickens burn. That's the catchphrase of one of the 4 chaos gods. For they wish nothing but battle. And dead babies. Because, you know, that's sometimes a good thing. What am I saying? Becoming unhinged, Tori. You're becoming unhinged. Hinged of the unvariety. Where you shouldn't be, but you are. Ah! Oh my god, that fell and that jump scared me. Why? Bad. Stay balanced. Damn it. Let to worship the machine god. You mean the void dragon? The void dragon of Mars? I actually should have added more gray highlights to his underneath his boot there, but yeah, oh well. That's fine. We'll do it later. Light's coming from there, so this little thing might even get a tiny bit. This little thing will get a tiny bit. From the side there, I'm going to add more things to do, but not particularly much, so it's fine. Now to add a little rim light, a rim edge to this global bulby thing is actually kind of hard. I'm going to just add a little triangle. And put a little more paint on it. So it's a full little triangle. Imagine if it transforms, becomes real religion in Warhammer 40k. Yo, got a ghost buddy in your room? What? Why? Is the audio doing anything weird that I don't know of? I'll fix it if I can find a solution to whatever the problem is. Then first I have to know what the problem is. Only thing I can think of is the birds chirping in the distance, but that's birds chirping in the distance, not necessarily I am not painting on the screen, shit. What would lead one is yourself to think that ghouls, ghosts in my stream. Streaming audio is fine, don't worry. Oh no, the paint that fell down. Oh. Well, the ghost's an asshole. I don't know if me insulting the supernatural will come to bite me in the ass later down the line. That sounds like a skill issue. Sounds like a skill issue of the being alive versus the being dead. Haha, got him. Yeah, I shouldn't do haunted investigations, not gonna lie. Don't insult the ghosts. Haha, your mom. The first thing that gets said. Like it has a tragic backstory, imagine. It's like, welcome to the London, whatever the fuck, the English thing of where 1 million people died. Be respectful towards the ghosts and spirits here, and the first thing you hear is just me going, haha, your mom is dead. Your mom is dead. You're dead. You're dead and your mom is dead. You and your mom is dead. And it's like, what the fuck, bro? This is actually a tragic place. It's like, no, it's a ghost hunting place. You get one of the two. You don't get to be both. Pure insensitivity towards the ghosts. Ghost is like, yo, what the fuck's his problem? I'm dead, but he's an asshole. Let's haunt this motherfucker. And from then on, I start bitching about like equipment failures and shit like that. I'm like, guys, you will not believe what happened. Your mom. Oh my god, that would be a bit funny. A bit funny. Fun fact: there's an Optimus Prime clone known as Pepsi Convoy. He's a canon in the G1 Japanese timeline. I have never gotten the obsession with Transformers. I only had Transformers once in my life, and everyone's gonna hate me for this. When the Michael Bay movie first released, the first one, right? They had a pretty good Optimus Prime and Bumblebee toy, which I think my aunt or so got me. And that toy is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, even though the Bumblebee one didn't fully transform correctly. But like that toy was a really good toy. To be honest, that first Transformers movie isn't even that bad. Pentagon conspiracy movie thing, Big Iceman. I think it has pretty good music, if I'm being honest. Okay, it's not like the G1, any of the classic themes or whatever, but like the like that heroic theme is pretty good. Not only that, but the Scorponok's battle in the first movie, I think that's a really good battle in my opinion, because a lot of elements just come together there. The big scorpion looking thing, its design, but also just like the, what should you call it, when they awaken Megatron, right? Like the whole like little guy on the on the ship, like hacking it. The music throughout that they have for the Decepticons, like this building theme song that just goes like higher and higher and becomes more intense as it goes on, like builds upon itself. There's something really cool to it. Did it get lost over the multiple movies they made? Of course. Did a lot of people like it? No. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty neat. Was I only vaguely familiar with Transformers? Yes. Did I care about the lore that they butchered? Not really. And that's the reason why I thought that movie was probably not that bad. If I watched it now, I'd probably find like a million problems with it. But like from what I can remember, I like the cutscene. Again, I didn't really watch movies when I was a kid. I like watched the movies once, somewhat thought I understood the message, but then usually would just skip towards the action scenes. Because then I can have those like the musics that they use in the background when I play with the toys, like for it to match up, right? Because some movies did this where, okay, they released their soundtracks, but then their soundtracks wouldn't contain this specific mix version of the song that I wanted for my like toy battle, or more aggressively, what pirates would do is they'd add the two songs. So like the soundtrack for the third movie, right, has the Battle of the Maelstrom in it. However, they're dicks about it, because how do they like add it? They add it in a way where the music starts off like in the middle of the where the scene takes place, and eventually the end of the track essentially becomes the first part of where the scene in that track takes place. So you'd have to listen on repeat to get the full song essentially in the sort of correct order. But that's annoying if you just want to play it and go from one song to the other. I always found that annoying as a kid. Not gonna lie. I'll be honest, I don't really like how it looks on the helmet. I'm actually not totally convinced. Wait, let me just resharpen. I think it's too dirty. I think it's too dirty looking. It actually doesn't look too bad for the hands. But I think the color I used is actually too bright. I think I should have gone with a more, like, the more bluish color. The Tektite, maybe even. Maybe I should have gone more with this again, not the call it not the blue horror one. But you know, hey, it can happen. Yeah, Autobot shill for Pepsi. Damn. Does that mean Decepticons stand for cola? National holiday? What? Oh wait, sorry. Kick W. I was like, why the hell is my dad not out for work? Then I realized it's Belgium's national holiday or something. Wait, it is? Oh yeah, the 21st of July. That's like a something, right? Isn't like, what is it? The Belgium Day of tax evasion? I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's like a sports thing happening or whatever. Welcome to another episode of Tori Doesn't Know What the Fuck is Going On. It's a very common story. It's a very common theme in the channel. Tori just being in a room being like, wait, what? Everyone left? Why? Oh, there was a thing to do. Oh, whoopsie. How was I supposed to know? / why should I care? Very Tory indeed. Very Tory. Well. Depends, I don't know. Well, there was a Transformer Creo commercial where Megatron drinks Coca-Cola and eats pizza, so you're not wrong. I'm a great guesser, as you can see. My guesses are right about all the times I'm right. They're only wrong when I'm wrong. Those are some pretty good odds. There's people with worse odds. I should start a gambling firm. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that because I'm not a fucking idiot. source, trust me. I'm an idiot. I'm just not a fucking idiot, you know. There's a difference. No, a difference in idiots. Some true idiots. They're the type of idiots that make dumb mistakes like, oh, I'll get cancelled on Twitch twice. And you know, YouTube, that sounds like a good site to get cancelled on. They can never hold a grudge. That's the kind of, that's one kind of dumb. But then there's also the dumb words like, I'm dumb. I'm not dumb, you know. Although a ukulele, for your defense, is still one of the funniest things I've ever seen, not gonna lie. I will not let that go. That is just too good. That's just so good. It's so criminally, like, it's so criminal that it's good. Because you try to explain that to someone, and unless you can show them the video, they're not gonna believe you. Because they're gonna go, which fucking idiot would be that stupid? Well, that idiot. So you found them. Belgium national holiday. De fête nationale belge. Belgische nationale feestdag. Nationale feestdag van België is the national holiday of Belgium, commemorated annually on the 21st of July. It's one of the country's 10 public holidays and marks the anniversary of the investiture of Leopold I as the first king of the Belgians in 1831. Oh, good for them, I suppose. Oh, good for me. Yippee! I don't fucking know. I know this country was created as just a buffer between two other countries, that's all. We're like a glorified timeout session where there's like, no, you get to sit on one side of the room and you get to sit on the other side of the room. If you can't get along, you don't get to play together. We're glorified that, essentially, as a country. As far as I'm aware, you know. I'm actually more happy now, the way it's sort of turning out with the highlight now. Actually, that might not be a bad idea to do the highlight like that, where it's like I first apply the highlight with the very bright blue, and then I go over it again with the regular blue to bring it down, to tone it down a tad. But like I start off with the higher contrast one, so it kind of uses both of them. It also does brighten up those sides, so that's not bad. I don't know much about my own country, Lamau. It's purposeful, because the history of this country is kind of boring. It's fascinating on with some sides, but like it's kind of boring. Only recently learned we apparently have a bunch of castles, but a lot of them were destroyed in World War I because they sucked ass. They prepared us for a type of warfare that was already outdated by that time. True sadness. Sit up straight. There we go. New revolution. Tori for king of the Belgians. Yes. Let's commit. Let's commit. Viva la revolution. Damn. Sad F for castles. True, because castles are cool. But we lost a bunch. Apparently. And they're chippy. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Well, I didn't knock it over, so that's good. No, not on the paint paper. Oh shit. Okay, I didn't fall in the paint. Good. There's no paint on it, I think. Did you know that these things are pretty good? They're pretty tasty. You should try them. If you have a Colruyt near you, Kasav Krupuk. It's pretty good. Fun fact, there's a female Optimus Prime. She shows the Up in Universe War comic by 3 Horse Comics. Oh shit. Nice. Or 3H. Is that 3 Horse? I don't know. Wait, it's a Dark Horse. Shit. And 3H Comics. Oh. Optimus Prime with titties and curves. Let's go. Yes, truly a formidable foe, a formidable ally, a formidable adversary. Truly what the people want. It's all connected. It's all connected to, you know. It's all connected to the thing. I like the chip shaped look thick. True. They're kind of thick. They're salty, also great. They have good taste. A good chippy. I'll be honest. I like how sharp it looks on the screen as well, right? Damn. Makes me miss doing live action things. Okay, a tiny bit, right? Wait, I'll just immediately, just bite down on one. Not even like savor the taste, just immediately like crunch, right? Let's see this. Wait, give me a sec. Bit of water. Oh shit, my second can's already empty. Fuck. Okay, the painting goes very slowly. Okay, just accept that. Well, you might ask, but Tori, isn't it very weird going from a flavor like whatever the fuck you were eating to back to painting? Back to the taste of paint sometimes in your mouth because of the weird way you make a little point on the thing? And I might say, hey viewer, you are right. I don't care. It's fine. I'll live. The flavor change is a bit weird though. A tiny bit. Not a lot, but a tiny bit. Yeah. You get used to it though. way, when I'm not talking, do you guys like even hear anything, or is it just pure silence, or is it just a tiny bit of room tone that you hear? I'm very curious about that, because I actually wasn't really paying too much attention to it. It's something I just noticed now by being silent for a tiny bit, where it's like, wait, when I'm not talking now, do you guys even hear anything, or is it just pure silence actually? Because I don't know how to mix it in that sense. Actually, believe it or not, wouldn't want it to be total silence. If that's the case, I'm going to have to double check that, and how I'm going to adjust that for the next stream when I do something like this. You know? So you guys can actually hear something. New chippy flavor, yeah. It's silent, sometimes a breath or two, but yeah, okay, so it is really silent then. Okay, that's for Chris then. Anyone else that wants to chip in? The more information I get, the more I know how I can adjust it, because when I don't talk, the noise seems to sit about minus 45 and minus 50, whilst minus 40 is about where I have game sounds and background stuff edited to. So minus 45 to minus 50 might just either be silence or just a tiny bit of noise, but not technically a lot. And I might have to change that a tiny bit, just because total silence isn't totally the idea. It's more supposed to be like a room tone, but if the room tone gets lost, then I'm going to have to up the gain. But where am I going to have to up the gain? Well, in the mic settings. But then if I up that gain, then the thing becomes louder as well. And either way, it's going to be a pain, yeah, so I might as well do it right. Oh, okay, right. Fucking cock, shit, I did the same mistake again. Sorry, you can't see it. Wait, do we have audio questions? I walked away. I have some mod notes for mod chat later. Oh, that makes sense. No, Ophi, my question was this, like when I'm not talking, right? Do you hear absolutely nothing? Or is it just like room tone that you vaguely hear? Because if it's like absolutely nothing you hear, that's technically not really what I would want to do. You're supposed to basically hear either a hum or like a bit of the room noise, a tiny bit, right? But if it's absolute silence, then that's something I'm going to have to watch out for. Which I can double check myself right now because I'm streaming, I'm live, so it's kind of, here, put the brush in your mouth too, throw a kick. Fair enough. Lamau, have that noted. No, it's not noted. It's about like, is that a thing? Do you guys hear it, yes or no? I'm curious. Pull out the null wash. Take a tiny bit of null wash. It applies to the top two wings there. Okay, phalanx yellow time. With the phalanx yellow, I'm going to add a few little teeny bits of highlights here and there to the gold. I've noted everything that's coming through and what isn't coming through, so I know what you were looking for. Oh, interesting. Well, basically, it's like if I'm silent, right? Like, do you hear anything, or is it just total silence? Like, there's nothing audio coming through. And with silence, I mean like literally nothing. With silence, it's the equivalent of muted, right? So, true silence is this. That's true silence, because that's totally nothing. This is silence, but there's still a little bit of room tone coming through, right? If I put my headphones volume up, I can slightly hear the room ambience. Okay, interesting. Maybe for the ASMR version of this mic preset, I have to like... Okay, let's double check something, right? Let's double do a thing where... Fuck it, I could do that live. Wait, we're going to adjust something. We're going to make a copy of this microphone that we have right now. Shit. I'm going to just copy it again. So I have a copy 3. Okay, boom. I'm going to go to this copy. We're going to make it so that the compressor here is a tad more aggressive. -20. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to make it so that the gain on this one starts at a higher segment. So it has way more frequency coming through, right? And way more loudness. However, what that also creates is that, like, well, I'm louder and it is louder, but when I'm silent, the room tone now essentially exists on the same plane that video games do. And again, I'm curious. What does this sound like to you? Is this a good sound, yes or no? For the ASMR vibes, right? More's getting picked up. Background is more obvious. Okay, yeah, well, yeah. That makes sense, but like, is it still good? If it makes... I don't know. My head might be turning into brain rot. I don't even remember. That's not what I wanted to do. Shit. For ASMR, it's 100 times better. Ooh, okay, interesting. This can truly be the ASMR mode then, I guess. It's kind of good. ASMR. I'll call the thing ASMR. Then we'll know that that's the true ASMR mic setting. Oh yeah, that water rinse noise. Well, it takes a little bit of time to get into it, you know. That could be timestamped as the true ASMR begins. Batman begins. ASMR begins. Okay, light coming from down up here. So... Imagine sneezing. No sneeze in the stream. Okay, so that's... think I've realized 7 times during the stream my poor brain sneezed. Oh no. Sneezing really, no. Sadness. Sadness, true sadness. I could technically bring the background audio even higher, okay? Because we're going to do one last test. Yes, welcome to Troubleshooting Live with Tori. What we're definitely going to do, to be extra certain, is we're going to put the ratio extra high so that the compressor is a little more aggressive, right? We're going to bring down the thing with 25 dB as well, so that for certain we are not going above a thing. And what I'm then going to do is just going to max out the fucking the gain. So this is the loudest my microphone can go in terms of the initial gain, right? But the compressor is, again, very aggressive. Ready to take down any frequencies we might consider impure. Okay, I brought it back up to 20, so there's a little bit more dynamicism in my voice. So tell me, how is this for the ASMR vibes? The entire thing. Wait, mute for a second. There you go. Try to bring the thing a little closer to the work area. So yeah, you know, the female Optimus Prime looked at the 2001 cartoon Optimus Prime, so she's not feminine at all. She's all buff and masculine, I guess. Ah, yeah, she is the snoo woman. It's the snoo Amazonian Prime, Optimus Prime, yes. Death by snoo Optimus Prime. Now I'm going to add a tiny bit of Korox white. And I'm just going to use for like a few highlights on the metal segments. Oh shit. The full plastic's coming off. That's not what I want. I feel like I can still feel the ambience through my headphones. It's like I can feel the ambience through my headphones. Well, that's a good thing for the ASMR type vibes, right? And the nice thing is, if I would go loud, then the compressor essentially is gonna. Oh shit! Bad habits die hard. I have to not take paint directly out the thing. Put it on the swab, and the swab will be our guide, our guidance. I love how even Korox white isn't really white. It's also like a light gray. Like white scar white is white. Everything else is just kind of gray in different degrees. Shit, back to doing too much back sound. Eep, eep, eep. Eep, eep, eep. Ah. So we finally achieved it. So after about like 3 hours of fucking around with this crap, now we have achieved the ASMR vibes. Better late than never, I suppose. Better late than never. That's our. You know what? That'll be our conclusion for today. Better late than never, and I won't get too angry about like having it be not good. I'll accept it on the way of becoming better, of getting good. It'll be a milestone. A true ASMR experience by Tori. Truly the greatest in ASMR experiences. I kind of want to hold the character up to the mic, but it's like, no, that's not really what you're supposed to do. hours into stream. 3 hours into stream to figure out that these are the right things to be using. Wait, we'll do a little stretch. Shit. God damn it. Yeah. No, like that, like that, like that, that, like that. Wait, arm back. Stretch. Good. She, the female Optimus Prime, is from the universe Viron 110312 Gamma. It takes some tweaking, but how you got there. I'm getting sleepy, switching to mobile, so passive modding for the rest of the night. Stretchies. Shrimp. Oh, actually, I'm getting out of shrimp mode. Why have I turned into a shrimp? The demon shrimp. Honestly though, if you look at a shrimp with its like everything on it, you could think about that big. That's a demon. That's a demon. A demon looks like a shrimp, right? Like it's a face made out of like just claws and kitten and little grabby things and tentacles and like feeling sprites and big eyes and like a pointy hat, not pointy hat, like a pointy spike on it. Like a shrimp up close, if that was big, would totally be a fucking like menace, right? Like just a menace. I'm not like wrong when I say that. I feel like I'm correct. I feel like you guys don't get me when I speak about my weird stuff. I think did I lose you guys? Which part did I lose you? Wait, whoop! Hey, look at that. Damn, you get a good bokeh with that. Did I lose you on the shrimp part? was the shrimp part where people were lost? Oh shit, my foot tingles. Shit, my foot went to sleep. No. Damn it. Fucking don't go to sleep. I'm like twiddling my toes trying to get it like squeezing it, opening it, trying to get it to not go to sleep. Because that would be very unfortunate if it did. Because I don't want it to go to sleep. Uh-oh. Shrimp even got those buff armor. True, it has the demon armor. All armor is just shrimp imitation? We're all going back to crustacean. The crustacean is the final step in our evolution. We all wish to return to its warm embrace, becoming a crustacean for the Emperor. God damn it. Tori's corporeal form is actually a shrimp confirmed. No. There is a demon form. It doesn't look like a shrimp. It looks like if it has a big tail though. It has a really big tail. That I can tell you for certain. It has a big tail. I should get back to working on that short actually. I'm gonna lie, I kinda stopped working on that. Like re-debut thing. It takes so much time though. Maybe Mondays I can work on that. I don't know when I'm gonna work on that. Yeah. I've been going for 3 hours. Damn. 3 hours and so many yawns. How dare I? Why am I so tired now all of a sudden? What the fuck? Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot I got stuck on TikTok. Instead of doing the sleep. I forgot. That makes sense. I still want to keep going though. Like I feel like I'm in a good groove of at least a few of these things. And look how long the paint stays wet for. Like that paint is still wet. Verified, no. Oh yeah, everything in the sea keeps evolving into a crab. That's like the ultra form. Like yes, there's like a buff, mega like long hair demon form, and then there's the ultimate form. It's like with Ganondorf, right? Like Ganondorf, then you have Ganon, and then you have like the ultimate giant boar of destruction Ganon. And so the ultimate boar of destruction Ganon is just a big ass shrimp. I don't know, maybe you didn't sleep. But Ophi, I rested. Although I'm feeling that that's not the same thing apparently. Curse you, body, how dare you betray me like this? How dare thee betray me like this in my time of need? At the turn of the tide, it betrayed me. How dare it? How dare it betray me like that? The only stream where my room ambience is actually preferred instead of like not needed. That's very funny. What are you typing? Does he actually side eye? Does he actually sleep? That does not count, sir. You betrayed yourself. I told you to sleep. You did not listen. Instead, you wanted to watch VTubers and TikToks. A lost cause over here. But Showtime is a funny channel that everyone I recommended watch should. Yes, that's a sentence. I usually tend to post their stuff every so often, actually a lot, in the Discord server, where I'll post a reminder to watch one of the greatest clippers in VTubing, in my opinion. Because they're just that good of an editor. So it's really worth watching. Yep, it's really worth watching just to learn from them, if that makes sense. And so, we need to wrap up in a blanket burrito. What? I think you should fight the tooth and nail wipe streaming. No, I need my TikTok. Tori tantrums. It's not a Tori tantrum, okay? The TikTok is good. TikTok make the brain go burr. And not only make TikTok make the brain go burr, but TikTok alleviate. TikTok is like a time machine, okay? Like I start it, then I put in a destination, which is like so many hours ahead. Then you turn it on and you accidentally get to that point very quickly by just watching different videos. And sometimes TikTok's boring and then I just don't turn it off because I'm not interested. That happens only sometimes though. Okay, the one I'm kind of worried about is not as much this character. He's kind of fine in the end. It turned out okay-ish. The gray here is very muddy. That's kind of bad. Let me just add a bit of a wash to it to wash it down. Get some of my darker details back out of it and just kind of blend it back together. Because I don't like how that looks. Wash time. It's wash time, wash time, wash time for the belly. Belly wash time. He's coping so hard with his lack of sleep. How many kilometers have you scrolled already? That's a good question. The answer is yes. Yes is my answer. You don't have to know what it is. It's not needed. It's not, as they say, required. Let me open up. Look at that. Ooh, look, all blurry. Look, all blurry. No, all blurry. You can see nothing. No more stream. Oh no. Okay, let me just get it as sharp as possible. Boom, baby. Look at that. That smooth ass little marine. Is there an actual metric you can find to how long you've scrolled? I don't know. That's a good question. The question we can ask the TikTok. The answer is something. There is an answer, maybe. Who knows? Maybe there is not an answer. I'm concerned about this next guy, right? Because this guy In the end, this guy went pretty good. Not gonna lie, this guy went pretty fine. Okay, this guy was pretty okay, pretty haha hee hee little guy. This guy, however, has a lot of problems. For one, his coat is kind of uneven. His color is kind of uncolored, and his base coat, the first base that was put on him, is kind of frosty, so he looks a little more. He's rougher as well as like to touch, right? Wait, bring it the mic up. That has just a different sort of twang to it, like. Information that's pertinent to this conversation looks great. Infinity. It's very rough. Okay, I'm just adding. This is also the marine, funnily enough, I used for my thumbnail. Should have used a different one. Shit. Oh god. God damn it, I pressed on the bolt gun thing. My bad. Wait a minute. There we go. I made the gun a little bit Louis. Ha 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 ha. Thumbnail looks very nice. The thumbnail does look very nice. I'm actually kind of happy with the thumbnail I drew for this stream. It's good. It's a good stream thumbnail. Gets you the idea pretty clearly and pretty neatly without too much fuss and fuss. It's gonna be a stream about more minis. And it's me, Tori. The demon prince who will do so. Shit, chopstick, no. Oh my god. Bad chopsticks. Indeed, how did they jump scare me? I'll jump scare them. It's like I'll show up to their house. Like a picture of, I don't know, picture of deforestation. Just to scare them, like, yeah, some funding for your families. Just out of nowhere, Bully McGuire. Gotta bring out the Bully McGuire from time to time, you know. Just leave it at the one marine because I can't get the concentration to do the other one. Plus the other one kind of has worse painting on the base layer to do it, so it's kind of annoying. Let me just stretch one more time. Yeah. I'm annoyed that like 3 hours into the fucking stream. No. It's not the no. Nah. Okay. Fine. Wait, I'm gonna mute quickly. There we go. So I can talk. Like the reason I'm the official emoji shrimp. No, can't make the shrimp emoji. It's like a demon. I'm a demon VTuber, but then the shrimp is like the emoji. Oh, would be better than the demon face though, because that's just devious intent, and I don't think I'm a devious intent type of person. I don't have any devious intent. Violence tendencies and devious intent aren't the same thing. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm not prone to anger, am I? Prone to shouting at things, but that's different. If I can get every marine at least at this level, that would be pretty good, I think. Yes, please, shrimp emote. What? No. What the fuck? Do you have a it actually reminds me, right? So there's this thing online that exists to do, and it's like this VTuber introduction Q&A, yay! And it's like this character. I think either Girl DM or someone else voiced it, right? I don't know who voiced it, but it's essentially a parody of like a Japanese version of it, right? Where it's like VTuber tap Q&A, yay! And like it's all this like different things where it's like, what's your name? And then you can introduce your name. But it's like on this little beat, right? So you go along with the you go along with the rhythm to try and kind of find your way through it, right? And I want to get more underneath the table, please. And the more you like go like, hey, do a Q&A, yeah, and you introduce your name and you do your fan tag and do an impression. It's like, what the fuck? And all that kind of stuff, right? So the fun thing about that, what that allows you to do is that it's a funny little way of interacting with the community on like a fairly surface level basis. However, it whatchamacallit, it's kind of cringe, but it's like good. It's a good cringe. It is a good cringe because the funny part about it is that like for the most part you don't have to do that much. You just have to edit it kind of together on top of the words, right? And you can have kind of a back and forth with it because again the structure leaves you free to fill it in each way how you want. So that's pretty cool. That rambling made like no sense, right? Prone to anger, checks rage list. I don't know, the evidence is stacked against you. You see, I think that the list was falsified with AI. I am never angry. What is shit? No, fuck. Okay, so that's why, like, because I'm so far down, laying down, essentially. That's why the VTube app can't find me. Wait a minute, let me adjust that shit. we have become a true ASMR streamer, as in that the content itself is the ASMR. Fandom name Tori's Imps. What's your fandom name? Tori's Imps. And it's like all the different things. What? He's just a sentient AI now. Ophi falsified. This is like, Ophi, you are like one of those AI generated false things. That's what we're concluding now. That's mean. No, I take that back. Or do I? No, yeah, I take that back. Not real, all my face cams are just a lie. You didn't realize it yet, but every time Ophi streamed, it was just a computer of another dude doing the Ophi, and then sending it through to a girl to do the voiceover, and then they broadcast that. Or it isn't, and in that case, it's probably pretty bad. Wow. Wow. Almost misclicked on something. Shit. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Damn. The stream has only been public for like, this stream, right? Has only been going for like 3 hours, 3 hours 20. And already I see that the view count is at like 50, which for me is good numbers, right? Like, to preface this, it doesn't mean like we are still a micro channel with our own like micro channel things, right? However, some conclusion we can reach out of this: proper ASMR streaming does seem to at least attract a few people to watch it, which isn't bad. Not sleeping before doing an ASMR stream is probably pretty unwise, because what that happens is that when I do the ASMR stream, I guess my tiredness eventually overtakes my being awakeness. Part 3. Part 4. I've been exposed. Poop are not real. Oh my fucking home. Oh god fucking damn it. That fucking jolted me awake. Shit. Okay, so the fucking... So my phone just yeeted out of my like... Oh god damn. Out of the little holster that holds it, right? And just... Jesus Christ. Hold it. How did that even... Oh my god. It just jump scared the absolute tits out of me. Fuck me. Quit supporting me and no one else will. I'll be a supporter no matter what. The true whatchamacallit, the true ASMR experience. Not only an ASMR, jump scare, just literal jump scare. Spring lock failure. No, it's not a spring lock failure. Oh no. You know what the annoying thing is I've already noticed? After this stream, what I'm gonna do, right? Like, I'll explain what I'm going to do after the stream. After the stream, I'm more than likely, I'm going to do this thing called the Schlip. I'll probably do a little nappy time, right? Like, I'll wait. Ooh, okay, bringing it down a bit and then adjusting it. So there we go. What I'll more than likely do after the stream is that there we go. If I do it like this, then that makes more sense, right? What I more than likely will do is I'll take a little nappy nap, little nappy nap where I go, and then I go a little sleepy and I go, then I wake up and I might look for at least a moment that was good enough to make a short on, or maybe a moment from yesterday's stream to make, 2 days ago stream to make another short on, right? And once I'm done with that, I have to make the thumbnail for the security breach stream. Yeah. I have to do the security breach stream because tomorrow we're playing. Oh God. We're playing fucking 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach because 3 days after that, or 4 days from now, the fucking Security Breach Ruined DLC comes out. The fucking 1 year and a half of them working on not fixing their fucking game, but making it a whole new game, right? But it's supposedly for free, so that doesn't prove much. But at least then maybe I'll have beaten Security Breach, so I can at least say like, hey, look at that. Security Breach, I somehow beat this fucking buggy piece of mess, right? Which honestly, I don't even have to play all of it. I just have to get to 6 a.m., which I think technically speaking, from where I am, I just have to do I have to do the get the card thing, repair the head thing, after the Music Man part, get the wolf eyes, and I think that's enough to get me to end the game. And if I didn't want to go for the extra ending, I have to get the extra gift card or whatever, go to Monty Golf, do the Monty Gator section, go up, do the Labyrinth, then do the Monty Gator boss battle, and then after the Monty Gator boss battle, make my way through Roxy's Raceway down below, use all the animatronics to get to different things, sneak through the hallway, get to the old pizzeria, defeat Michael Afton, not the Mimic, but Michael Afton, and use that to conclude my run. Which is kind of lame, but yeah. Oh, that's annoying. FNAF lore. Just draw a security bot and kick it to pieces. Honestly, might consider it. I do not want that. I want FNAF lore deserves an award. There's this phenomenon, right? Parodisiacism. I'm already fucking up the name, right? It's the word for that thing where it's like you're recognizing patterns within anything, right? Recognizing patterns within things that really don't have any patterns within them. That is very much what Security Breach is. It's an unfinished mess that people just kind of throw shit on the wall and see what sticks. And eventually one thing that has been sticking on the wall that people have been accepting is this thing called a mimic. Like, yes, now instead of like haunted, cursed robot bears, it's about fucking toys taking over other people's lives, or toys taking over other people's toys, or whatever the fuck that they decide that like Eminem Richter is going for or going into, right? It's something like that. So bad. I'd rather watch the Skibbity Toilet pieces, all of them. I'd look for a compilation of all of the different parts and then watch them back to back to back. The thing is, after you're caught up, like 5 minutes or less, there's like extra lore that you can try and go into, but don't go into that lore. It's dumb and frozen as it should be, and dumb and frozen and dumb. So person goes up, takes out their laptop, draws the rest of creepypasta, and that creepypasta becomes the biggest creepypasta of all. That sentence made no sense. What the fuck? Anyway, so that said, I think we've reached the 3 hour and a half mark, which would mark this as the shortest stream in a long time, actually, considering, damn, then I kind of have to make up for it tomorrow by having tomorrow be a longer stream. When FNAF was about dead angry kids in a suit. I know, right? It was almost as if it's at its best when it's just about dead kids and a weird killer, instead of where it's like, oh, now it's about like the animatronic, but also there's like a robot one, and then Saboe, and it's a Gregory, and then there's also the Mimic. And the Mimic is a different bot, and it does different things, and then you have the Afton, and he's back because after the 6th one, I gave him a good send off. He always comes back, so we need him to be back. It is what it is. Anyway. Fuck's sake. Stupid red cell. Wow. Don't touch buttons unless I'm fully ready to push them. I'll just do a sleeping stream. I'll be sleeping ASMR. I'll be actually sleeping. That'll be the content from now on. If he doesn't know what he was doing awake, then asleep he was essentially. Imagine if like Joe Rogan like goes into a wheelchair or whatever for some reason, and fucking like I have this push it off. Like it's to be like no vehicles. And then sadness. Good stream. Fun fact, there's a Decepticon that will transform into a used school bus known as a bus Decepticon, Busicon, Bushicon, Cerberbus, Bus Top, Omnibus, or just Blue Decepticon. Mentally prepare yourself for the suffering near streamer, man. Instead of a let's play, a let's sleep. Hello everybody, welcome to the Tori channel. How can I be of assistance today? Can I interest you in a calming let's sleep, all sleep. So join me in bed as we sleep together through me being fucking tired now apparently, because the energy drinks are starting to not have their effect anymore. So join me in my sleep. Yes. Yeah, that makes no sense. Anyway, so let's round off stream. Let's sleeps aren't a good thing. We can try them some other time. For everybody watching, with an energy buff failed. True, kinda. I think if I had something more active going on, that probably wouldn't have been too bad, but it's mainly because this stream already is kind of a sleepy thing, and it requires a lot of concentration to kind of put out these paint strokes, and if you can't get them fully on, there's no real point in continuing, right? But hey, we at least got one guy a little bit more down, so that's pretty good. Actually, imagine him falling asleep right now. I actually did that earlier, yes. It's just now, that earlier thing was a kind of almost a fall asleep kind of thing. Probably gonna hit the most intense cold medicine sleep in like an hour. Ooh, nice. So, more than likely as well, like, hey, what was I talking? I was doing the outro. So, if you want to support the channel in any capacity, I suggest you head over to the YouTube channel, not just to subscribe or to like the stream if you like the stream, but to go through either the VODs and find one you might consider watching, or if you find it more interesting, there's also a lot of edited content within the channel, a lot of analyses and the quick thoughts and that kind of stuff, or quickies where it's like, okay, I'm gonna give a review to something. However, it's gonna be done within about a quarter time of like talking about it or whatever. It's not going to be a full rotation of all the directors and what their vision is or whatever. I will go that deep for signals because I care. I'm not going to do that for every fucking movie or game or whatever the hell, right? Because that makes sense. However, yeah, no, I had a wonderful. I think I had a wonderful stream. That was very calming and relaxing, and that by the end, the last hour and a half at least, was true ASMR miking with true ASMR background noises. I'm extremely sorry that before it was maybe too silent. It is what it is. We'll figure it out as we go along, right? Tori the Shrimp Lord. I'm not the Shrimp Lord. Stop. God, I'm going to become the Shrimp Lord, haven't I? So, okay. So with that said, thank you so very much for watching. Check out more. By the way, for content-wise, I can recommend you two things. If you want a longer type video, there's the Signalis ending video where after I beat that game, I basically made another last video compiling the thoughts and review points out of that VOD into its own 20-minute video where the first 5 minutes are extra content of me essentially kind of laying out some groundwork and some context for why I'm interpreting the way I'm doing and why I'm not like going out of my way to watch a million YouTube videos to like figure out what the hell I'm supposed to think about the whole entire game, right? Because I think there's something valuable by sharing your own opinion, by sharing not your own opinion, but like your own interpretation of the story, right? I think there's something valuable to that. So I did. Another thing on the channel that's doing pretty good numbers for some reason is that little comic dub of Devil May Cry. You might want to check it out. It's a good little video, you know? It's a cute little video. 17 seconds long, not that long. So not that long at all. Yeah, I think that'll be good. That'll be all. So thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one. It'll be a good one. Take care, everybody. Goodbye. Wait, I'm gonna... What? Okay. Okay. Before we break anything else, we're gonna end the stream. Yes. We made little progress, but what progress we did make was pretty good. Like, look, now I kind of got a base down for how I'm gonna do the rest of them, right? And that's the most important part. Okay. Take care, everybody. Good night.